Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's so nice to see you again. Or perhaps this is your first time here. If so, welcome. My name is Alison. I make these videos to help you learn English, but they're special videos. They're designed for listening while you sleep or while you rest. The conversations are very slow and calm, very peaceful. Last time we talked together, do you remember? Last time, the topic was about life advice. We talked about inaction. Inaction means not taking action, not doing something. We explored what happens when we don't act, when we wait too long, when we let fear stop us. My grandfather and I talked about the consequences of inaction. Consequences means the results, what happens because of our choices. We learned that not choosing is also a choice, that waiting too long has its own cost. It was a peaceful conversation, a thoughtful conversation. Many of you told me it helped you. Some of you said it helped you sleep better. Others said it helped you think about your own lives. That makes me very happy. Today we have a new topic. Today is also about life wisdom, but this time we're talking about something different. Today we're talking about understanding people. Understanding what people really need. My grandfather calls it selling without selling, but it's not really about selling. It's about connecting with others. It's about listening deeply, about asking gentle questions, about caring for people's true feelings. This conversation is also very slow, very calm, perfect for sleeping or resting. You don't need to concentrate hard. Just let the words wash over you. Let them settle into your mind gently. The English is simple and natural. We repeat ideas in different ways. This helps you learn while you rest. Your brain absorbs the language naturally, without effort, without stress. So make yourself comfortable now. Find a peaceful position. Close your eyes if you want to, or keep them open, whatever feels right. Take a slow breath, and another. Good. Now let's begin our conversation. My grandfather is waiting. He has a beautiful story to share today about a woman in a blue dress and an old man who loved his wife. These stories will teach us about understanding, about really listening to people, about seeing what's in their hearts. Are you ready? Then let's go sit with my grandfather. Let's learn together, peacefully, gently. Here we go. Grandfather, may I ask you something?
Of course, my dear. You can always ask me anything.
I was thinking today about something interesting.
What were you thinking about?
I noticed that some people are very good at convincing others.
Yes, that is true. Some people are good at that.
They can convince people to do things. They can convince people to buy things.
They can, yes.
But I don't understand how they do it.
You want to know their secret?
Yes, what is their secret?
Well, let me think about that for a moment.
Take your time, grandfather.
The secret is not what most people think.
What do you mean?
Most people think these convincing people are just good talkers.
Aren't they good talkers?
They can be, but that is not the real secret.
Then what is the real secret?
The real secret is about understanding.
Understanding.
Yes, understanding people.
I see, or I think I see.
Let me explain it slowly.
Please do. I want to understand.
When someone buys something, what are they really buying?
They're buying the thing, the object.
That is what it looks like, but there is something deeper.
Something deeper?
Yes. People don't buy objects, they buy feelings.
They buy feelings.
They do. Let me say that again. People buy feelings, not objects.
That's interesting. Can you give me an example?
Of course. Think about a warm coat.
A warm coat. Okay.
Someone goes to a store. They look at a warm coat.
Yes, I can imagine that.
Do they buy the coat because it is made of wool?
Well, maybe.
Or do they buy it because they want to feel warm?
They want to feel warm. I understand.
They want to feel comfortable. They want to feel safe from the cold.
So they are buying the feeling of warmth.
Exactly. They're buying the feeling, not just the wool.
I never thought about it that way,
Most people don't think about it that way.
but it makes sense now.
Good. Let me give you another example.
Please do.
Think about a family buying a house.
A house, that's a big thing to buy.
It is. It's very big, very important.
What feeling are they buying?
What do you think?
Maybe they want to feel safe?
Yes, safety is part of it.
What else?
They want to feel like they belong somewhere.
They want to belong.
They want to feel at home. They want to feel peaceful.
So they're not just buying walls and a roof.
No, they're buying the feeling of home.
The feeling of having a place that is theirs.
Exactly right. You understand very well.
Thank you, grandfather.
So when someone is good at convincing others, they understand this.
They understand that people want feelings,
Yes, they understand what people really need.
not what people say they need, but what they really need.
That's very wise of you to say.
But how do they know what people really need?
Ah, now you're asking the important question.
Is it hard to know?
It's not hard, but it takes practice.
What kind of practice?
It takes the practice of listening.
Just listening?
Not just listening. Deep listening.
What is deep listening?
Deep listening means listening with your whole heart.
With your whole heart.
It means listening to understand, not to answer.
To understand, not to answer. I like that.
Most people listen to answer. They wait for their turn to speak.
I think I do that sometimes.
We all do that sometimes. It's natural.
But it's not deep listening.
No, it's not. Deep listening is different.
How is it different?
When you listen deeply, you forget about yourself.
You forget about yourself.
You stop thinking about what you will say next.
That sounds hard.
It takes practice, but it becomes easier.
And when you listen deeply, you understand what people need?
Yes, you start to understand their feelings,
Their real feelings.
their real needs, their real hopes.
I want to learn how to do this.
I'm happy to teach you.
Where do we start?
We start with questions. Questions are very powerful, Alison.
Are they?
They are. A good question can open a person's heart.
That's beautiful.
But the question must be gentle.
Gentle?
Yes, gentle and honest.
What makes a question gentle?
A gentle question comes from real curiosity.
Real curiosity about the other person.
Yes, you must really want to know.
Not just pretend to want to know.
Exactly. People can feel the difference.
They can feel if you really care.
They can always feel it. Always.
So I should only ask if I really want to know the answer?
That's right. That's very important.
Can you show me an example?
Of course. Let's imagine something simple.
Okay.
Imagine you meet a friend. She looks a bit sad.
She looks sad. I can imagine that.
What would you ask her?
Maybe I would ask, "Are you okay?"
That's a good start. It's a caring question.
But is it gentle enough?
It is gentle, but sometimes people say, "I'm fine," even when they're not.
That's true. People do that.
So you might need to ask a softer question.
A softer question. What would that be?
You might say, "You seem quiet today."
That's not really a question.
You're right. It's an observation.
Is an observation okay?
Sometimes an observation is better than a question
Why is that?
because it doesn't push. It just notices.
It gives the person space to share if they want to?
Exactly. You're learning fast.
Thank you. So first I notice. Then what?
Then you wait.
I just wait?
You wait quietly. You give them time.
Time to decide if they want to talk.
Yes, time to feel safe.
And if they do want to talk, then what?
Then you ask gentle questions to help them.
Questions like what?
Questions like, what happened? Or how are you feeling?
Simple questions.
Very simple, but asked with a warm heart.
I understand. Can we try another example?
Of course. Let's try something different.
What should we imagine?
Imagine you're in a shop, a bread shop.
A bread shop. I like bread shops.
The person working there seems worried.
They seem worried while they're working.
Yes, they are putting bread on the shelves, but they seem distracted.
What would you do?
I would watch for a moment first.
Just watch?
Yes, to understand the situation better.
That makes sense.
Then, if it feels right, I might say something.
What would you say?
I might say, that bread looks wonderful.
That's kind, but it's not about their worry.
No, it's about making a connection first.
A connection?
Before you can help someone, you need to connect with them.
So you start with something positive.
Yes, something true and positive.
And then?
Then maybe they smile. Maybe they say thank you.
And that's the connection.
That's the beginning of the connection.
Then you can ask about their worry.
Only if it feels natural. Only if they seem open.
What if they don't seem open?
Then you just buy your bread, you smile, you leave.
You don't push.
Never push. Pushing closes doors.
Gentleness opens doors.
Yes, my dear, you understand it perfectly.
These examples are helping me.
Good. Let's try one more.
I'm ready.
Imagine you want to buy a gift for someone.
A gift for who?
For anyone. Maybe a friend, maybe your mother.
Okay, I want to buy a gift.
You go to a shop. The shopkeeper asks if they can help you.
Yes, that happens.
Now, a bad shopkeeper will just show you things.
They'll show me what they want to sell.
Exactly. They think about their own needs, not yours.
What does a good shopkeeper do?
A good shopkeeper asks questions first.
Questions like what?
They might ask, who is this gift for?
That's a simple question.
Very simple, but very important.
Why is it important?
Because now they're trying to understand your need.
They want to know who I'm buying for.
Yes, and then they might ask, what does this person enjoy?
They're learning about what this person enjoys.
They're learning about what would make that person happy.
So they can suggest the right gift.
Exactly. Not just any gift, the right gift.
The gift that will bring the right feeling.
Yes. You see how it all connects?
I do. Questions help us understand feelings.
And understanding feelings helps us help people.
Even in something as simple as selling bread or gifts?
Especially in simple things. Life is made of simple things.
I never thought of it that way.
Most people don't, but you're thinking about it now.
I am. I'm thinking about it a lot.
That's good. Thinking deeply is important.
Grandfather, have you always known these things?
No, my dear, I had to learn them.
How did you learn them?
I learned them by making mistakes.
What kind of mistakes?
Would you like to hear a story?
I would love to hear a story.
Then let me tell you about something that happened long ago. This happened when I was young, very young.
How young were you?
I was about 25 years old.
That is young.
It felt very young. I thought I knew everything.
Did you really think that?
I did. Young people often think they know everything.
What were you doing at that time?
I was working in a small shop.
What kind of shop?
It was a shop that sold tools, hammers, saws, nails.
A hardware shop.
Yes, exactly, a hardware shop.
Did you like working there?
I did. I liked helping people fix things.
That sounds nice.
It was nice, but I didn't understand people yet.
What do you mean?
I understood tools, but I didn't understand hearts.
Tell me what happened.
One day, a woman came into the shop.
What did she look like?
She was middle-aged. She wore a blue dress. She looked tired.
Tired from what?
I didn't know then. I didn't ask.
What did she want?
She said she needed to fix a fence.
A fence in her garden?
Yes, a wooden fence around her house.
What did you do?
I immediately started talking about tools.
That seems natural. It was a tool shop.
It was, but I talked too much.
What did you say?
I told her about different types of hammers. I explained about nails.
You were trying to help.
I thought I was helping, but I wasn't listening.
What do you mean?
She tried to say something several times.
What did she try to say?
I don't know. I kept interrupting her.
Oh, no.
I was so excited to show my knowledge.
You wanted to prove you knew about tools.
Exactly. I wanted to impress her with my expertise.
What happened then?
She became quieter and quieter.
She stopped trying to speak?
Yes, she just nodded at my words.
That must have felt strange.
I didn't notice. I was too busy talking.
Then what happened?
Finally, she said she needed to think about it.
She didn't buy anything.
No, she left the shop.
You must have felt disappointed.
I did, but I didn't understand why she left.
Did you think about it?
Not really. I just thought she wasn't ready to buy.
But that wasn't the real reason.
No, I know that now.
What was the real reason?
She didn't feel understood.
You didn't understand her need.
I didn't even try to understand it.
That's sad.
It is, but the story continues.
What happened next?
A week later, another person came in.
Someone else who needed tools?
Yes, it was an old man.
What did he need?
He needed to build a small shelf.
A shelf for his house.
Yes, for his kitchen.
What did you do this time?
At first, I started to do the same thing.
You started talking about tools.
I did, but then something stopped me.
What stopped you?
I remembered the woman in the blue dress.
You remembered how she left.
Yes, I remembered her quiet face.
So you changed what you were doing?
I did. I stopped talking.
You stopped talking completely?
I stopped explaining, and I started asking.
What did you ask her?
I asked her about the shelf.
What about it?
I asked where she wanted to put it.
That's a good question.
He smiled when I asked. He said it was for his wife's cups.
His wife's cups. That's specific.
It was. So I asked another question.
What did you ask?
I asked if his wife had many cups.
Why did you ask that?
Because I wanted to understand the shelf size.
That makes sense.
He smiled when I asked. He said she collected cups.
She was a cup collector.
Yes, cups from different places, different countries.
That's lovely.
It was lovely, and he was happy to talk about it.
You made him feel good.
I made him feel heard.
What happened then?
He told me more. He told me about their travels.
They traveled together?
They did. Every cup had a story.
How wonderful.
So I asked about the shelf again.
What did you ask?
I asked if he wanted people to see the cups.
To display them.
Yes, to show them proudly.
What did he say?
He said yes, he wanted his wife to feel proud of her collection.
So you understood his real need.
I did. It wasn't just about a shelf.
It was about honoring his wife's collection.
Exactly. It was about love.
That's beautiful, grandfather.
So I helped him choose wood that looked nice.
Not just strong wood, beautiful wood.
Yes, wood that would make the cups look special.
What did he do?
He was very happy. He thanked me many times.
He bought the materials?
He did, and he told me something before he left.
What did he tell you?
He said I was the first person who understood.
Understood what?
Understood that it was more than just wood and nails.
It was about his feelings for his wife.
Yes, and I only understood because I listened.
You asked questions and listened.
That's all I did, but it was everything.
Did he come back?
He did, many times over the years.
He became a regular customer.
More than that, he became a friend.
That's wonderful.
And it all started because I stopped talking and started listening.
What about the woman in the blue dress?
I never saw her again.
That makes me sad.
Me too. But she taught me something important.
What did she teach you?
She taught me that people need to be heard.
More than they need advice?
Much more. Everyone has enough advice.
But not everyone has someone who listens.
Exactly right.
I wish you could have helped her.
I do too. But I helped many others because of her.
She helped you learn the lesson.
She did. And now I'm teaching you.
And I'm listening.
You are. You're listening very well.
This story helps me understand.
I'm glad. Stories help us remember.
They're easier to remember than rules.
Much easier. Stories touch our hearts.
Your story touched my heart.
Thank you, my dear.
Can I ask you something?
Always.
Do you still think about that woman sometimes?
I do. Every time I meet someone new.
How does she help you?
She reminds me to be quiet first.
To listen before speaking.
Yes, to understand before helping.
That's a good reminder.
It's the most important reminder.
I want to remember it too.
You will. You're already learning it.
Grandfather, thank you for the story.
You're welcome, Alison.
It made everything clearer.
Good. Clarity is important.
Can we talk about what we learned today?
Of course. Let's think about it together.
We talked about understanding people.
Yes, understanding what people really need.
And we learned that people don't buy objects.
They buy feelings. They buy the feeling they hope to have.
A warm coat is really the feeling of being warm.
And safe. And comfortable.
A house is really the feeling of home.
The feeling of belonging. The feeling of peace.
So when we want to help people, we need to understand their feelings.
Their feelings, their hopes, their needs.
And we understand by asking questions.
Gentle questions. Honest questions.
Questions that come from real curiosity.
Yes, real care for the other person.
We also understand by listening.
Deep listening. Listening with our whole heart.
Not thinking about what we'll say next.
Just being present with them.
Being present. I like that phrase.
It's a peaceful phrase.
And we learned about making connections.
Yes, connecting before helping.
Starting with something positive and true.
Something that builds trust.
Like complimenting the bread in the shop.
Exactly. Small kindnesses build bridges.
Bridges between people.
Bridges between hearts.
Your story showed all of this.
Which part of the story spoke to you most?
The part about the old man and his wife's cups.
Why that part?
Because you understood it was about love.
It was. It was all about love.
He didn't just want a shelf.
No, he wanted to honor something precious.
His wife's memories, their travels together.
All those moments in different countries.
And you helped him do that.
I helped because I listened first.
You asked about the cups.
I asked because I cared.
And he felt that care.
People always feel real care.
Just like they feel when we don't care.
Yes, we cannot hide our true feelings.
So we must care truly.
If we want to help, we must care truly.
What about the woman in the blue dress?
What about her?
What do you think she needed?
I don't know for certain.
But if you could guess.
Maybe she needed someone to understand her worry.
She looked tired, you said.
She did. Very tired.
Maybe the fence was more than just a fence.
Maybe it was. Maybe it represented something bigger.
Like a problem she was trying to fix.
Or a boundary she was trying to create.
To feel safe.
Perhaps. We'll never know.
But if you had listened, you might have known.
Yes, that's the lesson.
Listening opens doors.
Talking too much closes them.
I'll try to remember that.
You will remember. You have a good heart.
Thank you, Grandfather.
And a good heart naturally wants to understand others.
Is that true?
It is. When we care about people, we want to know them.
To really know them.
Not just their names, but their hopes and fears.
Their dreams.
Yes, their dreams too.
This feels important.
It is important. It's one of life's most important skills.
Understanding people.
Understanding and connecting with people.
Can anyone learn this skill?
Anyone who wants to learn it.
It takes practice, you said.
Yes, gentle practice with each person we meet.
Every conversation is practice.
Every conversation is an opportunity.
An opportunity to connect.
To understand, to help, to care.
That's a beautiful way to see conversations.
It makes life richer.
How does it make life richer?
When we understand people, we have real relationships.
Not surface relationships.
No, deep ones, meaningful ones.
Like the old man became your friend.
Exactly. That friendship enriched both our lives.
Because it started with understanding.
It started with care.
Grandfather, I have another question.
What is it, my dear?
Do you still think about that woman sometimes?
I do. Every time I meet someone new.
How does she help you?
She reminds me to be quiet first.
To listen before speaking.
Yes, to understand before helping.
That's a good reminder.
It's the most important reminder.
I want to remember it too.
You will. You're already learning it.
Grandfather, thank you for the story.
You're welcome, Alison.
It made everything clearer.
Good. Clarity is important.
Can we talk about what we learned today?
Of course. Let's think about it together.
We talked about understanding people.
Yes, understanding what people really need.
And we learned that people don't buy objects.
They buy feelings. They buy the feeling they hope to have.
A warm coat is really the feeling of being warm.
And safe. And comfortable.
A house is really the feeling of home.
The feeling of belonging. The feeling of peace.
So when we want to help people, we need to understand their feelings.
Their feelings, their hopes, their needs.
And we understand by asking questions.
Gentle questions. Honest questions.
Questions that come from real curiosity.
Yes, real care for the other person.
We also understand by listening.
Deep listening. Listening with our whole heart.
Not thinking about what we'll say next.
Just being present with them.
Being present. I like that phrase.
It's a peaceful phrase.
And we learned about making connections.
Yes, connecting before helping.
Starting with something positive and true.
Something that builds trust.
Like complimenting the bread in the shop.
Exactly. Small kindnesses build bridges.
Bridges between people.
Bridges between hearts.
Your story showed all of this.
Which part of the story spoke to you most?
The part about the old man and his wife's cups.
Why that part?
Because you understood it was about love.
It was. It was all about love.
He didn't just want a shelf.
No, he wanted to honor something precious.
His wife's memories, their travels together.
All those moments in different countries.
And you helped him do that.
I helped because I listened first.
You asked about the cups.
I asked because I cared.
And he felt that care.
People always feel real care.
Just like they feel when we don't care.
Yes, we cannot hide our true feelings.
So we must care truly.
If we want to help, we must care truly.
What about the woman in the blue dress?
What about her?
What do you think she needed?
I don't know for certain.
But if you could guess.
Maybe she needed someone to understand her worry.
She looked tired, you said.
She did. Very tired.
Maybe the fence was more than just a fence.
Maybe it was. Maybe it represented something bigger.
like a problem she was trying to fix.
Or a boundary she was trying to create.
To feel safe.
Perhaps we'll never know.
But if you had listened, you might have known.
Yes, that's the lesson.
Listening opens doors.
Talking too much closes them.
I'll try to remember that.
You will remember. You have a good heart.
Thank you, Grandfather.
And a good heart naturally wants to understand others.
Is that true?
It is. When we care about people, we want to know them.
To really know them.
Not just their names, but their hopes and fears.
Their dreams.
Yes, their dreams too.
This feels important.
It is important. It's one of life's most important skills.
Understanding people.
Understanding and connecting with people.
Can anyone learn this skill?
Anyone who wants to learn it.
It takes practice, you said.
Yes, gentle practice with each person we meet.
Every conversation is practice.
Every conversation is an opportunity.
An opportunity to connect.
To understand, to help, to care.
That's a beautiful way to see conversations.
It makes life richer.
How does it make life richer?
When we understand people, we have real relationships.
Not surface relationships.
No, deep ones, meaningful ones.
Like the old man became your friend.
Exactly. That friendship enriched both our lives.
Because it started with understanding.
It started with care.
Grandfather, I have another question.
What is it, my dear?
Is this the same as selling?
What do you mean?
You said some people are good at convincing others to buy things.
Yes, I did say that.
Is understanding people the same as selling?
It can be part of selling, but it's bigger than selling.
How is it bigger?
Selling is just one application of understanding.
One application?
Yes, you can use understanding in many ways.
Like helping a sad friend?
Exactly. Or teaching a child, or comforting someone who's worried.
Or choosing the right gift?
Yes, all of these need understanding.
So it's really about being a good person.
It's about being present and caring.
And when we do that in business, it feels natural.
It does. It doesn't feel like selling.
It feels like helping.
Because it is helping.
Helping people get what they truly need.
What they truly need to feel better, to feel happier.
That's selling without selling.
That's a good way to say it.
You're not pushing, you're understanding.
And when people feel understood, they trust you.
Trust is important.
Trust is everything.
Without trust, there's no real connection.
That's right. Trust is the foundation.
How do we build trust?
By being genuine, by caring truly.
By listening.
Yes, by listening without judgment.
Without trying to fix everything immediately.
Sometimes people just need to be heard.
They don't need solutions.
Not right away. First, they need understanding.
And then solutions come naturally.
They do. The right solutions become clear.
I'm learning so much.
You're a good student.
You're a good teacher.
Teaching is just sharing what life taught me.
Life is a good teacher too.
The best teacher, better than any book.
But your stories help me learn from your life.
That's why we tell stories.
To share wisdom.
To share experiences. To help each other grow.
I hope I can share stories someday too.
You will. You're creating your stories now.
I am?
Every day, every choice, every conversation.
That's a nice thought.
It's a true thought.
Grandfather, I feel peaceful now.
I'm glad. Peace is good.
Talking with you always makes me feel peaceful.
You make me feel peaceful too.
Do I?
Yes, your questions are thoughtful. Your heart is open.
Thank you.
Let's sit quietly for a moment.
That sounds nice.
Sometimes quiet is the best conversation.
Quiet between people who understand each other.
Exactly.
I understand what we talked about today.
Tell me what you understand.
People need to be understood.
Yes,
We understand them by listening and asking gentle questions.
yes,
When we understand their feelings, we can help them truly.
that's right.
And this works in all parts of life,
In every conversation, every relationship,
even in selling things.
especially in selling things, because selling is really about serving.
Serving people's needs.
Their real needs, their emotional needs.
I'll remember this.
I know you will.
The woman in the blue dress will remind me.
And the old man with the cups.
They're both good reminders.
They are. They live in the story now.
And the story lives in me.
Yes, stories live inside us.
They guide us.
When we let them.
I'll let this story guide me.
Good. Let it remind you to listen.
To listen deeply.
To care truly.
To connect before helping.
And to trust that understanding comes when we're patient.
Patient and present.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for listening.
I love our conversations.
I love them too.
Can we talk more tomorrow?
We can talk whenever you like.
Good. I always have questions.
And I always have time for your questions.
That makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Grandfather,
Yes,
I think I understand now why some people are good at convincing others.
why is that?
Because they understand that people are not looking for things.
What are people looking for?
People are looking for feelings, for understanding, for connection.
That's exactly right.
And when someone gives them that, they feel grateful.
They feel seen. They feel valued.
And that's the most important thing.
It is, being seen and valued.
We all need that.
Every single person.
So, in a way, we're all the same.
We are. We all have the same basic needs.
To be understood, to be cared for.
To belong, to matter.
That's simple but profound.
The most profound things are often simple.
I like that.
Me too.
I'm feeling sleepy now, Grandfather.
That's good. Sleep is good for you.
Will you remember what we talked about?
I'll remember. Will you?
I will. I'll remember the stories.
The woman in the blue dress.
And the old man with the cups.
They're both good reminders.
They are. They live in the story now.
And the story lives in me.
Yes, stories live inside us.
They guide us.
When we let them.
I'll let this story guide me.
Good. Let it remind you to listen.
To listen deeply.
To care truly.
To connect before helping.
And to trust that understanding comes when we're patient.
Patient and present.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for listening.
I love our conversations.
I love them too.
Can we talk more tomorrow?
We can talk whenever you like.
Good. I always have questions.
And I always have time for your questions.
That makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Grandfather,
Yes?
I think I understand now why some people are good at convincing others.
Why is that?
Because they understand that people are not looking for things.
What are people looking for?
People are looking for feelings, for understanding, for connection. That's exactly right.
And when someone gives them that, they feel grateful.
They feel seen. They feel valued.
And that's the most important thing.
It is, being seen and valued.
We all need that.
Every single person.
So, in a way, we're all the same.
We are. We all have the same basic needs.
To be understood, to be cared for.
To belong, to matter.
That's simple but profound.
The most profound things are often simple.
I like that.
Me too.
I'm feeling sleepy now, grandfather.
That's good. Sleep is good for you.
Will you remember what we talked about?
I'll remember. Will you?
I will. I'll remember the stories.
The woman in the blue dress.
And the old man with the cups.
They're both good reminders.
They are. They live in the story now.
And the story lives in me.
Yes, stories live inside us.
They guide us.
When we let them.
I'll let this story guide me.
Good. Let it remind you to listen.
To listen deeply.
To care truly.
To connect before helping.
And to trust that understanding comes when we're patient.
Patient and present.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for listening.
I love our conversations.
I love them too.
Can we talk more tomorrow?
We can talk whenever you like.
Good. I always have questions.
And I always have time for your questions.
That makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Grandfather?
Yes?
I think I understand now why some people are good at convincing others.
Why is that?
Because they understand that people are not looking for things.
What are people looking for?
People are looking for feelings, for understanding, for connection. That's exactly right.
And when someone gives them that, they feel grateful.
They feel seen. They feel valued.
And that's the most important thing.
It is, being seen and valued.
We all need that.
Every single person.
So, in a way, we're all the same.
We are. We all have the same basic needs.
To be understood, to be cared for.
To belong, to matter.
That's simple but profound.
The most profound things are often simple.
I like that.
Me too.
I'm feeling sleepy now, grandfather.
That's good. Sleep is good for you.
Will you remember what we talked about?
I'll remember. Will you?
I will. I'll remember the stories.
The woman in the blue dress.
And the old man with the cups.
They're both good reminders.
They are. They live in the story now.
And the story lives in me.
Yes, stories live inside us.
They guide us.
When we let them.
I'll let this story guide me.
Good. Let it remind you to listen.
To listen deeply.
To care truly.
To connect before helping.
And to trust that understanding comes when we're patient.
Patient and present.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for listening.
I love our conversations.
I love them too.
Can we talk more tomorrow?
We can talk whenever you like.
Good. I always have questions.
And I always have time for your questions.
That makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Grandfather?
Yes?
I think I understand now why some people are good at convincing others.
Why is that?
Because they understand that people are not looking for things.
What are people looking for?
People are looking for feelings, for understanding, for connection. That's exactly right.
And when someone gives them that, they feel grateful.
They feel seen. They feel valued.
And that's the most important thing.
It is being seen and valued.
We all need that.
Every single person.
So in a way, we're all the same.
We are. We all have the same basic needs.
To be understood, to be cared for.
To belong, to matter.
That's simple but profound.
The most profound things are often simple.
I like that.
Me too.
I'm feeling sleepy now, grandfather.
That's good. Sleep is good for you.
Will you remember what we talked about?
I'll remember. Will you?
I will. I'll remember the stories.
the woman in the blue dress,
and the old man with the cups.
and the lessons they taught us.
To listen, to care, to understand.
To connect with people's hearts,
Not just their words.
but their feelings beneath the words.
I'll practice that.
I know you will.
Starting tomorrow.
Starting right now, even in sleep.
In sleep?
Yes, let these thoughts settle into your dreams.
That's poetic.
Sleep is where learning becomes wisdom.
I like that idea.
Rest now, my dear.
Good night, grandfather.
Good night, Alison.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for being you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll be here
With more stories?
with whatever you need.
That's comforting.
That's what family is for.
To understand each other.
To support each other.
To listen to each other.
Always.
I'm so grateful
So am I.
for you.
For you too.
Sleep well, grandfather.
Sleep well, my dear Alison.
Dream of good things.
I will. You too.
I will dream of understanding
That's a beautiful dream.
and of connection.
And of peace.
Yes, peace.
Rest now, my dear.
I'm resting
Let today's lessons settle.
like snow settling on the ground,
Gently, quietly.
peacefully.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.
Grandfather, I've been thinking about something today.
What have you been thinking about, my dear?
I've been thinking about negotiation.
Negotiation? That's an interesting topic to think about.
Yes, I heard some people talking about it at the cafe this morning.
What were they saying about negotiation?
They were talking about negotiating the price of something they wanted to buy.
I see. And what did you think when you heard them?
Well, I thought negotiations sounded a bit uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable in what way?
It sounded like they were arguing with the seller about money.
Ah, I understand. Many people think negotiation is about arguing.
Isn't it about arguing?
Not really. Not when it's done well.
Then what is it about?
Let me think about how to explain this clearly.
Take your time, Grandfather. I want to understand it properly.
Negotiation is really about finding a balance between two people.
A balance?
Yes, it's about finding something that works well for both people.
So it's not about one person winning and the other person losing.
No, not at all. That's not real negotiation.
What would you call that?
That's more like a competition or a fight.
And negotiation is different from fighting?
Very different. Negotiation is peaceful. It's a conversation.
A conversation about what?
A conversation about what both people need and what both people can offer.
So both people matter equally in the negotiation.
Exactly. Both people's needs are equally important.
That sounds much nicer than what I imagined.
It is nicer, and it works better, too.
Can you give me an example from everyday life?
Of course. Let me think of something simple and familiar.
Something we've all experienced.
Yes, exactly. Let's imagine you and your sister want to share a cake.
All right, we want to share a cake.
There's one cake and two people who want to eat it.
That happens all the time in families.
It does. Now, one way to handle this is to fight about it.
One person could try to take more than the other.
They could, but that wouldn't feel fair, would it?
No, it wouldn't. The other person would feel bad.
And there might be hurt feelings or anger afterward.
So fighting about the cake creates problems.
It creates problems that last longer than the cake itself.
What's the other way to handle it?
The other way is to negotiate gently.
How would that work with the cake?
First, you would talk about what each person wants.
Maybe I like the chocolate frosting on top and my sister likes the vanilla cake underneath.
That's a perfect example. You're understanding this very well.
So, if we talk about what we each like, we might find a way to divide it that makes us both happy.
Exactly. Maybe you take the pieces with more frosting, and she takes the pieces with more cake.
Then we're both getting what we prefer.
And you're both feeling respected and heard.
That's beautiful, grandfather. It's so simple, but so important.
The best solutions are often simple once we see them clearly.
Can you give me another example?
Let me think. How about choosing a movie to watch together?
That's something I do with my friends all the time.
Good. So imagine you want to watch a comedy and your friend wants to watch a drama.
That happens often. We have different moods.
Exactly. Different moods, different preferences.
Usually we just take turns choosing.
Taking turns is one fair way to negotiate.
Is it the only way?
No, there are other ways too. You could talk about why each want what you want.
What do you mean?
Maybe you want to watch a comedy because you had a hard day and need to laugh.
And maybe my friend wants to watch a drama because she loves stories about real emotions.
Right. So when you understand the reason behind each preference, you can find better solutions.
Like what?
Maybe you could find a movie that has both humor and emotional depth.
A movie that gives you both something you're looking for.
Exactly. Or maybe you watch the comedy tonight because you really need it, and you promise to watch the drama tomorrow when you're in a better state to appreciate it.
So we're not just compromising, we're actually understanding each other.
That's the key word, understanding. Real negotiation starts with understanding.
Understanding what the other person needs, not just what they're saying they want.
You've grasped something very important there.
What's the difference between needs and wants?
Wants are on the surface, needs are deeper.
Can you explain that more?
When someone says, "I want to watch a drama," that's the surface want.
And the deeper need?
The deeper need might be, "I need to feel emotionally connected to a story right now."
So if I understand the need, I can help meet it in different ways.
Exactly. Maybe a comedy with heart could meet that need.
Or maybe just talking about feelings together could meet that need.
You're thinking very wisely about this.
Thank you. You're teaching me well.
You're learning well because you're listening carefully.
Is listening important in negotiation?
Listening is the most important part of negotiation.
More important than talking?
Much more important than talking.
Why is that?
Because you can't understand someone if you're not listening to them.
And understanding comes before agreement.
Always. You cannot reach a good agreement without understanding first.
This is different from what I thought negotiation was.
Most people have the wrong idea about negotiation.
They think it's about being clever with words or pushing for what you want.
Yes, they think it's about winning a game.
But it's really about creating something together.
That's exactly what it is, creating a solution together.
A solution that both people can feel good about.
A solution that respects both people's needs.
Can you give me one more everyday example before we move on?
Of course. Let me think about planning a family trip.
That's always complicated with many people involved.
It can be complicated, yes. Imagine your family is planning where to go for a holiday.
Some people want the beach, some people want the mountains.
Exactly. Different people want different things.
How would you negotiate that?
First, I would ask everyone why they want what they want.
Understanding the deeper needs again.
Yes, someone who wants the beach might need relaxation and warmth.
And someone who wants the mountains might need fresh air and adventure.
Right. So now you know what people are really looking for.
Then what?
Then you look for options that could give everyone at least some of what they need.
Like finding a place that has both beach and mountains nearby?
That's one solution. Or maybe you split the trip between two places.
2 days at the beach, 2 days in the mountains.
Exactly. Or maybe you find a beautiful lake in the mountains where people can swim and also hike.
So there's often a creative solution if we look for it.
There usually is, if we approach it with an open mind and a generous heart.
A generous heart. I like that phrase.
Negotiation works best when both people come to it with generosity.
What do you mean by generosity in this context?
I mean genuinely wanting the other person to be happy too, not just yourself.
So I care about my own needs and the other person's needs equally.
Yes, you hold both in your mind at the same time.
That sounds like it requires patience.
It does require patience. Good negotiation cannot be rushed.
Why not?
Because understanding takes time and trust takes time.
Trust is a part of negotiation.
Trust is essential. Without trust, people don't share their real needs.
They just argue about their positions.
Exactly. They defend what they've stated instead of exploring what they truly need.
So building trust is part of the process.
It's the foundation of the process.
How do you build trust in a negotiation?
We'll talk about that more in a moment, but it starts with listening.
Everything seems to start with listening.
It does. Listening is where all good things begin.
Grandfather, you keep mentioning listening as the most important thing.
I do, because it's true.
Can you explain more about how to listen well in a negotiation?
I'd be happy to. This is something I learned slowly over many years.
What did you learn?
I learned that most people, including myself when I was younger, talk too early.
Talk too early?
Yes, they start explaining what they want before they understand what the other person needs.
Why do people do that?
Because they're worried. They're worried that if they don't speak first, they won't get what they need.
So it comes from fear.
Often it does. Fear of not being heard, fear of losing something.
But speaking first doesn't actually help.
No, it usually makes things harder.
Why does it make things harder?
Because when you speak first about what you want, the other person starts thinking about how to defend their own position.
They stop listening and start preparing their argument.
Exactly. So nobody is really listening anymore. Both people are just waiting to speak.
That sounds frustrating.
It is frustrating, and it rarely leads to a good agreement.
So what should we do instead?
We should ask questions first.
Questions about what?
Questions about what the other person needs, what they're worried about, what's important to them.
Gentle questions, like we talked about before.
Yes, gentle and sincere questions.
Can you give me an example of how this works?
Let me think of a situation we can imagine together.
Something practical and realistic.
Yes, imagine you want to buy a table from a neighbor.
All right, I want to buy a table from my neighbor.
Your neighbor is selling a wooden table that you like.
But maybe I think the price is a bit high.
Perhaps. So you have two choices in how to approach this.
What's the first choice?
The first choice is to immediately say the price is too high and offer a lower price.
That's what many people would do.
They would. But what happens then?
The neighbor might feel defensive. They might think I don't value their table.
Exactly. They might become attached to their original price just because they feel challenged.
So that approach creates resistance.
It does. It makes the negotiation harder, not easier.
What's the second choice?
The second choice is to ask questions first and listen carefully.
What kind of questions?
You might ask your neighbor about the table itself. Where did they get it? How long have they had it?
Questions that show genuine interest.
Yes, and then you might gently ask why they've decided to sell it.
That's a good question.
It is, because the answer tells you something important.
What might the answer tell me?
Maybe they're selling it because they're moving and can't take it with them.
So they need to sell it fairly quickly.
Perhaps. Or maybe they're selling it because they want to buy a different table.
So they need enough money for the new table.
Right. Or maybe they're selling it simply because they don't use it anymore and it's taking up space.
In that case, they might just want it gone more than they want a high price.
Exactly. Each of these situations would suggest a different approach.
So by asking questions and listening, I understand what they actually need.
And once you understand that, you can speak to their need, not just argue about the price.
Can you show me how that conversation might go?
Of course. Let's imagine your neighbor says they're moving next month and need to sell the table before they go.
All right, they need to sell it before they move.
Now you understand their situation. So you might say something like, I understand you need to sell this before you move. That must be stressful, organizing everything.
So I'm showing that I understand their concern.
Yes, and that creates a connection between you.
What would I say next?
You might then explain your own situation honestly. Perhaps you say, I love this table and I would really like to have it in my home. I have a budget of this amount. Would that work for you?
So I'm being honest about what I can afford.
Yes, honest and respectful. You're not playing games or trying to trick them.
And because I've listened to them first, they're more likely to listen to me.
Much more likely. You've shown them respect, so they want to show you respect too.
What might they say?
They might say yes to your price because they understand you're being fair and they need to sell the table anyway.
Or they might explain why they need a bit more money.
They might. And if they do, you can have an honest conversation about it.
Maybe we find a middle point that works for both of us.
Or maybe you offer to help them move some of their other furniture in exchange for a lower price on the table.
That's creative. I hadn't thought of that.
When people feel understood and respected, they become creative together. They start solving problems as a team instead of as opponents.
That's so different from arguing about price.
It is. It's a completely different experience.
It sounds pleasant, too.
It's much more pleasant, and it often leads to better outcomes for everyone.
Can you give me another example?
Let me think of something different. How about negotiating with a shopkeeper?
Like in a market or a small store?
Yes, exactly. Imagine you're in a small shop and you see something you want to buy.
Maybe a handmade scarf.
A handmade scarf. Yes, that's a good example.
The shopkeeper has put a price on it.
They have, and maybe you think the price is a bit more than you were expecting to pay.
What should I do?
First, you might ask the shopkeeper about the scarf. Who made it? What materials were used?
Questions that show interest in their work.
Yes, and the shopkeeper will probably be happy to talk about it.
Because they're proud of what they sell.
Most small shopkeepers are proud of their products. They appreciate when customers notice the quality.
So I'm building a connection with them.
You are. And while they're talking, you're learning about why the scarf costs what it costs.
Maybe it's made from special wool, or it took many hours to make.
Exactly. And now you understand the value better.
What if I still can't afford the full price?
Then you might explain your situation honestly and kindly.
How would I say that?
You might say something like, "This is really beautiful, and I can see the quality of the work. I would love to buy it, but my budget today is limited. Is there any flexibility in the price?"
So I'm complimenting their work first.
Yes, you're acknowledging the value before you mention the price.
And then I'm being honest about my limitation.
Honest and respectful. You're not saying the scarf isn't worth the price. You're saying you can't afford it.
Those are different things.
Very different. One is respectful, the other is insulting.
What might the shopkeeper say?
They might offer you a small discount, or they might explain that they can't lower the price because of their costs.
And if they can't lower the price?
Then you accept that gracefully. You thank them for their time and perhaps ask if they have something similar that costs less.
Or I save my money and come back when I can afford it.
Exactly. The important thing is that you've treated them with respect throughout the conversation.
Even if we don't reach an agreement?
Even then, because maybe next time there will be a sale and the shopkeeper will remember you as the kind customer who appreciated their work.
So the relationship matters more than any single transaction.
Much more. Relationships last longer than any single purchase.
Grandfather, what about more difficult negotiations? What do you mean by more difficult?
Like negotiating with someone who seems angry or impatient.
Ah, that's a good question. Those situations require extra patience and calmness.
How do you stay calm when the other person is not calm?
You remember that their emotion is usually not really about you.
What is it about?
Usually, it's about something else in their life, some worry or stress they're carrying.
So I shouldn't take it personally.
Try not to. If you can stay calm, you can help the whole situation become calmer.
How does that work?
Calmness is contagious, just like anxiety is contagious.
So if I stay peaceful, they might become more peaceful too.
Often they will. Not always, but often.
What if they don't become more peaceful?
Then sometimes the best negotiation is to suggest continuing the conversation at another time.
When both people are in a better state.
Exactly. There's no shame in pausing a difficult conversation.
In fact, it might be the wisest thing to do.
It often is. Good agreements are not made in anger or stress.
They're made in calmness and clarity.
And sometimes we need to create the right conditions for that calmness and clarity.
By waiting, by being patient.
By respecting the right timing for important conversations. This all makes so much sense, Grandfather.
I'm glad it makes sense to you. These are lessons I wish I had learned when I was much younger.
Did you learn them through mistakes?
Many mistakes, yes. Would you like to hear about one of them?
I would love to hear a story.
Then let me tell you about something that happened many years ago.
This story takes place when I was in my 30s.
You were still quite young.
I was old enough to think I knew how the world worked, young enough to still have much to learn.
What were you doing at that time?
I was running a small business. We made wooden furniture.
Like the table in the earlier example.
Yes, very similar. Tables, chairs, cabinets, simple, sturdy furniture.
Did you enjoy that work?
I loved it. I loved working with wood and creating things that people would use in their homes.
What happened in this story?
One day, a man came to see me at my workshop.
A customer?
Not exactly. He owned a hotel in the city.
A hotel owner? That sounds like a big opportunity.
It was, potentially a very big opportunity. He wanted to furnish his entire hotel with new furniture.
That must have been exciting for you.
It was exciting and also a bit overwhelming. It would have been the largest order I'd ever received.
What did he need?
He needed tables and chairs for the dining room, desks for the guest rooms, wardrobes for storing clothes.
So many pieces of furniture.
Hundreds of pieces. It would have taken me and my workers many months to complete.
What happened when he first came to see you?
He explained what he needed, and I felt very eager to get this contract.
Eager because it was such a big order.
Yes, and also because I was proud. I wanted to prove that my small workshop could handle such a large project.
So what did you do?
I made my first mistake immediately.
What was the mistake?
I started talking about what I could do for him before I understood what he really needed.
You talked too early.
Exactly. I was so excited that I started explaining all my capabilities, showing him samples of my work, talking about timelines.
But you hadn't listened to him yet.
No, not really. I had heard his words, but I hadn't listened to what was beneath his words.
What do you mean?
He was telling me what furniture he needed, but I wasn't asking him why he needed it or what problems he was trying to solve.
What happened during that first meeting?
He seemed a bit uncertain. He thanked me for my time and said he would think about it.
And you thought you had lost the opportunity.
I was afraid I had. I felt disappointed in myself.
What did you do?
I sat in my workshop that evening, thinking about what had gone wrong.
Did you figure it out?
Slowly, yes. I realized that I had been thinking only about myself and my business,
Instead of thinking about his needs.
instead of trying to understand what he was really facing.
So what did you do next?
I decided to go and visit him at his hotel the next day.
That was brave of you.
I was nervous, actually. I wasn't sure if he would want to see me again.
But you went anyway.
I did. I went to his hotel in the morning.
What was the hotel like?
It was a beautiful old building, but I could see it needed care and updating.
How did the owner receive you?
He was surprised to see me, but he invited me to sit down in the lobby.
What did you say to him?
I apologized for not listening better during our first meeting.
You apologized for not listening.
Yes, I said that I had been so eager to show him what I could do that I hadn't asked him enough about what he actually needed.
How did he respond to that?
He seemed to relax a little. He appreciated the honesty.
And then?
Then I asked him if he would be willing to tell me more about his hotel and his vision for it.
So you asked him to share his story.
Exactly. I asked questions and then I simply listened.
What did he tell you?
He told me that this hotel belonged to his father.
It was a family business.
Yes, his father had recently passed away and he had inherited the hotel.
That must have been emotional for him.
It was very emotional. As he talked, I could hear the sadness in his voice.
What else did he say?
He said that the hotel had once been very popular and elegant, but over the years it had declined.
It had lost its former glory.
Yes, that's exactly how he described it. He wanted to restore its glory to honor his father's memory.
So the furniture was not just about filling rooms.
No, it was about much more than that. It was about love and memory and legacy.
Did you understand that during this conversation?
I was beginning to understand it, yes, and the more I listened, the more I understood.
What else did he share with you?
He told me about the financial pressure he was under.
It was expensive to renovate the hotel.
Very expensive. He had limited funds, and he was worried about making the right choices.
So price was important to him.
Price was important, but quality was equally important. He didn't want cheap furniture that would break quickly.
He needed furniture that would last and look elegant.
Exactly. He needed furniture that would honor his father's memory, but also fit within his budget.
That's a difficult balance.
It is. And I only understood this difficult balance because I took the time to listen.
What did you say after he finished sharing all of this?
I didn't say very much at first. I sat quietly for a moment.
Why did you sit quietly?
Because I wanted to think about what I'd heard. I wanted to respect the importance of what he had shared with me.
He had trusted you with something personal.
He had. He had told me about his father, about his worries, about his dreams.
So silence was appropriate.
Silence was respectful, and also I needed time to think about how I could truly help him.
What did you realize during that quiet moment?
I realized that this was not about getting the biggest contract. This was about helping another person honor someone they loved.
It changed how you saw the whole situation.
Completely. My entire approach changed.
What did you say when you finally spoke?
I thanked him for trusting me with his story.
That was kind of you.
It was simply honest. Then I asked him if I could make a suggestion.
What was your suggestion?
I suggested that we work on the project in stages.
In stages instead of all at once.
Yes, I suggested we start with the dining room, which guests would see first when they entered.
That was the most important room for first impressions.
Exactly. If the dining room looked beautiful and elegant, guests would feel confidence in the whole hotel.
That's very thoughtful.
And I suggested that we could work within his current budget for this first stage.
So he wouldn't have to spend all his money at once.
Right. And if the dining room was successful and brought in more guests, he would have more income to furnish the next stage.
So you were helping him manage his financial risk.
I was trying to understand his real problem and offer a solution that addressed it.
How did he respond?
He was quiet for a long moment, just like I had been quiet earlier.
He was thinking about your suggestion.
Yes, and then he looked at me and said something I will never forget.
What did he say?
He said, "You understand."
Just those 2 words?
Just those 2 words, but they meant everything.
He felt understood.
For the first time in our conversations, he felt truly understood.
And that changed everything.
It did. From that moment, we were not just customer and supplier.
What were you?
We were partners trying to solve a problem together.
That's beautiful, grandfather.
It was beautiful, and it taught me so much.
What happened with the project?
We started with the dining room, exactly as I suggested.
And how did it turn out?
I put my heart into every piece of furniture for that dining room.
Because you understood the meaning behind it.
Yes, I wasn't just making tables and chairs. I was helping a son honor his father.
Did the owner notice the care you put into the work?
He did. When the dining room was finished, he stood there looking at it with tears in his eyes.
He was moved by what you created.
He said it looked exactly how he remembered it from his childhood when his father ran the hotel.
So you had captured something precious.
I had tried to, and because I had listened to his stories, I knew what details mattered to him.
What happened next?
The hotel began to attract more guests because of the beautiful dining room.
So your strategy of working in stages was successful.
It was. Over the next 2 years, we furnished the entire hotel, one stage at a time.
And he was able to pay for it from the increased business.
Exactly. The plan worked just as we had hoped.
Did you become friends?
We did. He became one of my closest friends for many years.
All because you went back and listened.
All because I learned that listening is more powerful than talking.
If you had just focused on winning the contract the first time, what would have happened?
I probably would have lost it altogether. Or if I had won it, it would have been just a transaction.
Instead of a meaningful partnership.
Instead of a friendship that enriched both our lives.
This story shows everything we've been talking about.
It does. It shows the power of patience, listening, and genuine care.
And finding solutions that work for both people.
Solutions that respect both people's real needs, not just their stated wants.
Thank you for sharing this story with me, Grandfather.
Thank you for listening to it, my dear.
I feel like I understand negotiation much better now.
You do understand it. You've grasped the heart of it.
The heart being understanding and respect.
Exactly that.
Grandfather, can we sit together quietly and think about what we've learned today?
I would like that very much.
I want to make sure I remember these lessons.
The best way to remember is to speak them aloud in your own words.
Should I try?
Please do. Tell me what negotiation means to you now.
Negotiation is not about fighting or arguing.
No, it's not about that.
It's about two people trying to find something that works well for both of them.
Yes, it's a search for balance and agreement.
And it starts with listening, not with talking.
Always listening first, talking second.
We listen to understand what the other person really needs.
Not just what they say they want, but what they truly need beneath their words.
Because wants are on the surface and needs are deeper.
Exactly right. Needs are about feelings and concerns and hopes.
When we understand those deeper needs, we can find better solutions.
Solutions that address the real problems, not just the surface issues.
And we show understanding by asking gentle questions.
Questions that come from genuine curiosity and care.
Not questions designed to trap or trick the other person.
Never that. Honest questions that help both people see the situation more clearly.
We also learn that negotiation takes time.
It cannot be rushed. Good agreements need time to develop.
Like growing a plant, you can't pull it to make it grow faster.
That's a perfect comparison. You have to let things unfold naturally.
And sometimes the best thing to do is to pause and continue later.
Especially when emotions are high or people are tired.
Because good decisions are made in calmness, not in stress.
That's very true. Clarity comes with calmness.
Your story showed me something else, too.
What did it show you?
It showed me that negotiation can create relationships, not just agreements.
Yes, the agreement is just one moment, but the relationship can last for years.
You gained a friend, not just a customer.
I gained much more than a business contract.
And that happened because you cared about his real problem.
Because I stopped thinking about what I wanted and started thinking about what he needed.
That shift in thinking seems very important.
It's perhaps the most important shift a person can make.
From thinking about myself to thinking about the other person.
From me to we.
From competition to cooperation.
Yes, from opposing each other to working together.
Is this always possible, Grandfather?
What do you mean?
Can every negotiation become a cooperation?
Not every single one, no. Sometimes people have genuinely conflicting interests that cannot both be satisfied.
What happens then?
Then you might need to accept that no agreement is possible, and that's okay.
It's okay to walk away?
Sometimes walking away with respect is better than reaching a bad agreement.
A bad agreement is one that doesn't work for both people.
Or one that is built on pressure or deception rather than understanding.
Those agreements don't last anyway.
They don't. They often fall apart and create resentment.
So it's better to have no agreement than a bad agreement.
Usually, yes. You can always try again later when circumstances change.
When the timing is better, or when both people are in a different place.
Exactly. Timing matters very much in negotiation.
What else should I remember?
Remember that the other person is not your enemy.
Even if we want different things?
Even then, they are simply another person with their own needs and concerns.
Just like I have my own needs and concerns.
Exactly. We are all human beings trying to navigate life as best we can.
That's a compassionate way to see it.
Compassion makes everything easier, including negotiation.
How does compassion help in negotiation?
When you have compassion, you can understand why someone might be worried or defensive or difficult.
Because you recognize their humanity.
Yes, you see them as a whole person with a whole life, not just as an obstacle to what you want.
And when you see them that way, you treat them with more patience and kindness.
which usually encourages them to treat you with patience and kindness in return.
It's like a circle that keeps growing.
A circle of respect and understanding.
I want to practice this in my life.
You will have many opportunities to practice,
Every time I have a conversation where people want different things.
which happens every day in small and large ways.
Choosing where to eat dinner with friends.
That's a negotiation.
Deciding how to divide housework with a roommate.
Another negotiation.
Planning a project with colleagues.
All negotiations, all opportunities to practice these skills.
So life is full of these moments.
Life is essentially a series of negotiations, small and large.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
And when you approach these moments with listening and respect, life becomes more harmonious,
More peaceful.
much more peaceful, less conflict, more cooperation.
I would like that very much.
Most people would if they knew how to create it.
Maybe that's why you're teaching me these things.
I'm teaching you because I want you to have a good life,
A life with good relationships.
with meaningful connections based on mutual respect and understanding.
Thank you, grandfather. Thank you for caring about my life.
I will always care about your life, my dear.
These lessons you've given me today, they feel important.
They are important. They might seem simple, but they can change everything.
Simple but profound.
The best truths are often like that.
I'm feeling very peaceful right now.
I'm glad. Peace is a good feeling to end our conversation with.
It feels like everything we talked about has settled into my mind.
Let it settle. Don't worry about remembering exact words.
The feeling will stay with me even if I forget the exact words.
The feeling is what matters most.
The feeling of understanding, of patience, of respect.
Yes, those feelings will guide you when you need them.
Even in moments when I don't remember this exact conversation?
Especially then, the wisdom will be there inside you.
Because you've planted it there with your stories and your patience.
And because you've received it with an open heart.
Can I ask you one more thing, grandfather?
Of course, always.
Do you think I can really do this? Can I negotiate well?
I know you can.
How do you know?
Because you already have the most important quality.
What quality is that?
You care about other people. You want to understand them.
Is that really the most important thing?
It is. All the techniques and strategies mean nothing without genuine care.
But with care, the rest comes naturally.
Exactly. When you truly care, you naturally listen. You naturally seek to understand. You naturally look for solutions that work for everyone.
So I don't need to be clever or strategic.
You need to be human. Genuinely, compassionately human.
That's a relief.
Why is it a relief?
Because being human is something I already know how to do.
You do it very well.
Thank you, grandfather.
You're welcome, my dear Alison.
I think I'm ready to rest now.
Rest is good. Let these thoughts settle while you sleep.
Will you be here tomorrow?
I will always be here when you need me.
That's comforting.
It's meant to be comforting.
I feel very grateful.
I feel grateful too for these conversations with you.
For teaching me?
For learning together. You teach me things too.
I do?
You remind me to see things freshly through your questions and your thoughtfulness.
So we're both learning.
We're both growing. That's what good conversations do.
They help both people grow.
When they're based on listening and respect, yes.
Just like negotiation.
Exactly like negotiation. It's all connected.
Everything we've talked about is really about the same thing.
What is that same thing?
Treating people with dignity and trying to understand them.
Yes, that's the foundation of everything good in human relationships.
Negotiation, friendship, family, work, everything.
All of it comes back to that foundation.
I'll remember that.
I know you will.
Good night, grandfather.
Good night, dear Alison.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for listening.
I always listen to you.
And I always listen to you.
That's why our conversations are so peaceful.
It is. We practice what we teach.
We understand each other.
We do. And not understanding creates peace.
Sleep well, grandfather.
Sleep well, my dear.
See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
With more questions?
And more answers or more stories.
I like your stories.
I like sharing them with you.
They help me understand life.
Life is best understood through stories,
Through experiences shared.
through wisdom passed gently from one person to another,
Like we're doing now.
exactly like we're doing now.
I'm so sleepy now, grandfather.
Then close your eyes.
I'm closing them.
Rest peacefully.
I will.
Dream of good things.
I will dream of understanding.
That's a beautiful thing to dream about.
And of balance.
And peace.
Yes, peace.
Good night.
Good night. Can we talk more about the difference between spending and growing?
Of course. That's an important distinction to understand deeply.
I think I understand it in theory, but I want to understand it in practice.
Theory and practice are both important. Let's explore some real situations.
That would help me.
Let's imagine you receive some money as a gift for your birthday.
All right, I've received birthday money.
You have several choices about what to do with this money.
I could spend it on something I want.
You could. What might you want?
Maybe new clothes or books or something for my room.
All reasonable things. Let's think about each one carefully.
Starting with clothes?
Yes. Imagine you want a new dress.
I've seen a beautiful dress in a shop window.
It's beautiful and you really like it. Now, here's an important question.
What's the question?
Do you need this dress or do you want this dress?
I think I want it. I have other clothes I can wear.
That's honest of you to recognize. So it's a want, not a need.
Does that mean I shouldn't buy it?
Not necessarily, but it means you should think about what buying it means.
What does it mean?
If you buy the dress, you'll have pleasure when you wear it.
Yes, I'll enjoy wearing it.
For how long will you enjoy it?
Maybe for a year or two until it goes out of style or it doesn't fit anymore.
So you're trading your birthday money for a year or two of occasional pleasure.
When you put it that way, it sounds less appealing.
I'm not trying to make it sound unappealing. I'm just helping you see the exchange clearly.
The exchange of money for temporary pleasure.
Yes, and again, there's nothing wrong with that if it's a conscious choice.
But there might be other choices that create more value.
There might be. Let's think about the books you mentioned.
Books feel different from a dress somehow.
Why do they feel different?
I'm not sure exactly. Maybe because I can keep learning from books?
That's perceptive. A book can give you something that lasts longer than the book itself.
The knowledge stays in my mind.
The knowledge, the ideas, the inspiration, those things become part of you.
So buying a book is different from buying a dress.
It can be. If the book teaches you something useful or sparks new ideas, it's creating lasting value.
The money transforms into knowledge and skills.
Exactly. And knowledge and skills can help you earn more money in the future.
So in a way, the book is an investment.
It can be, yes, especially if it's a book that helps you develop abilities.
What about a novel that's just for enjoyment?
Even that has value. Rest and enjoyment are necessary for a balanced life.
So it's not wasteful to buy something just for pleasure?
Not if it's in balance with your other priorities.
Balance again.
Always balance. Life is about finding the right proportions.
What about things for my room?
What kind of things were you thinking about?
Maybe some decorations or a comfortable chair or better lighting.
Those are all different types of purchases. Let's think about each one.
Decorations seem like they might be similar to the dress.
They might be. They bring pleasure and beauty, but they don't create additional value beyond that.
And the comfortable chair?
A comfortable chair is interesting. If you spend a lot of time sitting, a good chair protects your health.
So it's investing in my physical well-being.
It is. Good health is one of the most important things you can invest in.
What about the lighting?
Better lighting could help you read more comfortably, work more efficiently, sleep better.
So it creates value by improving my daily life.
Exactly. It's not just about how things look, but about how they function in supporting your life.
I'm starting to see that every purchase has different kinds of value.
Yes, some purchases are purely for immediate pleasure. Some protect you. Some help you grow.
And the best purchases might do more than one of those things.
Very wise observation. So when you have money to spend, you should ask yourself these questions.
What questions?
Questions like, is this for pleasure, protection, or growth? Will this create value beyond the immediate moment? Does this align with what matters to me?
Those are excellent questions. You've learned this very quickly.
You're a good teacher.
And you're a thoughtful student. But grandfather, what about helping other people? Where does that fit?
That's a beautiful question to ask.
If I use my money to help someone, is that spending or investing?
It can be both or neither. It depends on how you think about it.
Can you explain?
If you give money to someone in need, you're creating value in their life.
But I'm not getting anything back.
You're not getting money back, but you might be getting something else.
Like what?
Like the feeling of having helped someone, like knowing you made a difference, like building a relationship based on kindness.
Those things have value even though they're not money.
They have tremendous value. Some people would say they have the most value of all.
So generosity is also an investment, in a way.
In a way, yes. You're investing in human connection and in the kind of world you want to live in.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
And sometimes, helping others can create practical returns too.
How so?
Remember the example I gave earlier about your cousin who wants to bake bread?
Yes, where I invest in her business?
That's helping her and potentially benefiting you financially.
So it's both generous and practical.
The best arrangements often benefit everyone involved.
Is that common?
It can be when people approach things with goodwill and fairness.
This is making me think about all my small daily purchases differently.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about the coffee I buy every morning on my way to work.
What about it?
It costs a small amount each day, but over a month, it adds up.
It does add up. What do you get from that coffee?
I get the pleasure of the taste and the warmth and the routine of stopping at the cafe.
Those things have value. The question is whether they have enough value for the cost.
How do I know if they do?
Only you can decide that. Is the pleasure and routine worth more to you than what else you could do with that money?
I suppose I could make coffee at home for much less money.
You could. Would you enjoy it as much?
Maybe not quite as much, but almost.
Then that's something to consider. The small savings each day could add up to something significant.
And I could use those savings for something that grows.
You could. But again, don't make yourself miserable in the present for the sake of the future.
Find the balance.
Always the balance. Maybe you buy the cafe coffee 3 days a week instead of 7.
And make it at home the other days?
Then you still get some of the pleasure, and you also free up some resources for your future.
That feels like a solution I could actually do.
The best solutions are the ones you can actually maintain over time.
Not extreme changes that I can't keep up with.
Exactly. Small changes you can maintain are more powerful than big changes you abandon.
Like the 1 coin a day we talked about earlier.
Just like that. Steady and sustainable.
Grandfather, did you always understand these things?
No, my dear. I learned them slowly, through experience.
Through making mistakes?
Through making many mistakes and gradually learning from them.
Would you tell me about one of your mistakes?
I would be happy to. Let me think about which story would be most helpful.
I'm ready to listen.
This happened when I was quite young, younger than you are now.
Grandfather, may I ask you something that's been on my mind?
Of course, my dear. You can always ask me anything.
I've been thinking about money lately.
Money is something worth thinking about carefully.
I've noticed something that confuses me.
What have you noticed?
Some people earn good money, but they always seem to struggle.
That's a very observant thing to notice.
And other people don't seem to earn as much, but they seem more comfortable.
You're seeing something important there.
What am I seeing?
You're seeing that earning money and keeping money are two different things.
Two different things?
Yes, and there's even a third thing that's more important than both of those.
What's the third thing?
Growing money, helping it become more over time.
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
Let me explain it slowly and clearly.
Please do. I want to understand.
Think about money as something that can do different jobs.
Different jobs?
Yes, money can work in different ways, just like people can do different kinds of work.
What kind of work can money do?
Some money does work that disappears quickly.
What do you mean by disappears?
Imagine you buy a nice meal at a restaurant.
I can imagine that. I enjoy going to restaurants.
The meal is delicious. You enjoy it very much.
Yes, that's a pleasant experience.
But what happens after you finish eating?
The meal is gone.
Exactly. The money you spent gave you pleasure for a short time and then it was finished.
So that money did work that disappeared.
Yes, the money created a moment of happiness and then both the money and the moment were gone.
Is that a bad thing?
Not bad, no. We all need to eat and enjoying food is part of life.
So it's necessary.
Some of it is necessary, yes, but if all your money only does this kind of work, you'll always be struggling.
Because the money keeps disappearing.
Exactly. You earn it, you spend it, it's gone. Then you need to earn more.
It's like a cycle that never ends.
A cycle where you're always running but never really moving forward.
That sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting. Many people live their whole lives in that cycle.
What's the other kind of work money can do?
The other kind of work is work that continues.
Work that continues even after you've spent the money?
Not exactly spent, more like placed somewhere it can keep working.
I'm not sure I follow.
Let me give you a different example. Think about planting a seed.
A seed in a garden?
Yes, imagine you buy a packet of tomato seeds.
All right, I've bought tomato seeds.
You plant those seeds in good soil. You water them. You wait.
The seeds grow into tomato plants.
They do, and those plants produce tomatoes.
Many tomatoes from just a few seeds.
Exactly, and if you save some seeds from those tomatoes, you can plant them again next year.
So one small purchase keeps giving you results year after year?
Yes, the money you spent on those seeds didn't disappear. It transformed into something that keeps producing value.
That's very different from the restaurant meal.
Very different. Both have their place in life, but they work in different ways.
The meal gave immediate pleasure, but then was finished.
And the seeds gave you work to do, patience to practice, and then ongoing reward.
So money that grows requires patience.
Almost always. Good things rarely happen quickly.
Can you give me another example?
Of course. Think about buying a good coat.
A warm winter coat?
Yes. Imagine you need a coat to stay warm.
I can imagine that need.
You have two choices. You can buy a cheap coat that will last one winter.
And then it falls apart?
It starts to tear, the zipper breaks, it stops keeping you warm.
So you need to buy another coat next year.
Exactly. Or you can buy a good quality coat that costs more money now.
But lasts for many years.
Perhaps 10 years or even longer if you take care of it.
So over time, the expensive coat actually costs less.
Much less. And it keeps you warmer and more comfortable all those years.
So that's money working over time instead of disappearing quickly.
Yes, you're understanding this very well.
But those examples are still about buying things.
They are, but let me show you something even more interesting.
I'm listening.
Sometimes money can do work without you doing anything at all.
How is that possible?
This is where money becomes most interesting, most powerful.
Tell me more.
Imagine you help your neighbor fix their fence.
All right, I'm helping my neighbor.
They're very grateful and they give you some money for your help.
That's kind of them.
Now you have this money. You could spend it on something that disappears.
Like a nice dinner.
Yes, or you could put it somewhere it can grow.
Where would I put it?
That depends, but let's say you put it in a place where it can help someone else do something productive.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Let me make it simpler. Imagine your cousin wants to start a small business selling bread.
My cousin is a baker.
Yes, she needs money to buy an oven and ingredients.
And she doesn't have enough money herself.
Not quite enough. So you give her the money you earned from helping your neighbor.
I give it to her as a gift?
Not as a gift, as an investment.
What does investment mean?
It means you're giving her the money to help her business grow, and in return, she'll share some of the success with you.
So if her bread business does well, I benefit too.
Exactly. She might give you back a little bit of money every month.
From the bread she sells.
Yes, she uses the oven to make bread, sells the bread to customers, and shares some of that money with you.
Because I helped make it possible.
Because your money is working in her business.
So my money is doing work even while I sleep.
Exactly. While you sleep, while you eat, while you do other things, your money is working.
That's amazing. I never thought about money that way.
Most people don't think about it this way when they're young.
But it's important to understand.
Very important, because time is precious and you can't work every hour of every day.
So it's good if my money can work when I can't.
It's very good. It means you're building something that lasts.
Building for the future.
Yes, for your future, for your comfort and security.
This makes me think differently about every coin I have.
That's a healthy way to think. Not obsessive, just thoughtful.
What do you mean by not obsessive?
I mean, you shouldn't worry about every small purchase or never enjoy life.
So it's about balance.
Always about balance. You need to live today and also prepare for tomorrow.
Live today and prepare for tomorrow. I like that.
Both are important. Neither should be forgotten.
How do I know when I should spend and when I should save or invest?
That's a question that takes time to answer fully.
But there must be some guidance you can give me.
There is. Let me think about how to explain it clearly.
Take your time, grandfather.
Think about your needs first, then your future, then your wants.
Needs, future, wants. In that order?
Generally, yes. Needs are things you must have to live safely.
Like food, shelter, basic clothing.
Exactly. Those come first, always.
And future?
Future means setting aside something for the days ahead.
Even if it's just a small amount?
Especially if it's a small amount. Small amounts add up over time in ways that surprise people.
And wants come last.
Wants are the things that bring joy but aren't necessary for survival or security.
Like that nice restaurant meal we talked about. Yes.
Or entertainment, or decorations, or extra clothes beyond what you need.
Those things aren't bad, though.
Not bad at all. They make life pleasant and colorful.
So I shouldn't feel guilty about wanting them.
Never feel guilty. Just be conscious and intentional.
Conscious means being aware of my choices.
Yes, knowing why you're choosing what you're choosing.
And intentional means choosing on purpose, not by accident.
Exactly right. You're very wise for your age.
I'm learning from you.
You're listening well. That's the first step of learning.
Grandfather, does everyone have money that can grow?
Not everyone, but more people could than actually do.
What stops them?
Sometimes they don't know it's possible. Sometimes they're too worried about today to think about tomorrow.
That's understandable when life is difficult.
It is understandable. That's why I'm never judgmental about people's choices.
Everyone's situation is different.
Very different, but almost everyone can start somewhere, even if it's very small.
How small can it be?
It can be as small as 1 coin set aside each week.
That doesn't seem like much.
It doesn't seem like much at first, but let me show you something interesting about small amounts over time.
I'm curious.
Imagine you save just 1 small coin every day.
Just 1 coin. That's very little.
It is very little, but after 1 month, how many coins do you have?
About 30 coins, I suppose?
Yes, about 30. That's not much, you're right.
But you're going to show me something about time, aren't you?
I am. After 1 year, you have 365 coins.
That's more meaningful.
It starts to feel more real. And if you keep doing this for 5 years,
That would be quite a lot of coins.
nearly 2,000 coins just from setting aside 1 coin each day.
I see what you mean. Small actions repeated become significant.
They become very significant. And that's just saving.
I was 19 years old, and I had just started my first real job.
What kind of job was it?
I was working in a factory that made furniture, much like the workshop I told you about in another story.
You've always loved working with wood.
I have. It's been a constant thread through my life.
What happened at this job?
I was earning my own money for the first time, real money that I had worked for.
That must have felt exciting.
It was very exciting. I felt independent and proud.
What did you do with the money?
At first, I spent almost all of it
On what?
on all the things I had wanted when I was younger but couldn't afford.
Like what kinds of things?
New clothes, because I had worn second-hand clothes all through my childhood.
That's understandable.
It was understandable, but I went too far.
What do you mean?
I bought many more clothes than I needed. I wanted to look successful and prosperous.
You wanted people to see that you were doing well.
Exactly. I wanted to show everyone that I had made it.
But you hadn't really made it yet.
No, I was just beginning, but I didn't understand the difference.
What else did you spend money on?
I would go out with friends almost every evening after work.
To restaurants and cafes?
Yes, and to shows and entertainment. I wanted to enjoy life after so many years of having very little.
That sounds natural for someone who had grown up with less.
It was natural, but it wasn't wise.
When did you realize it wasn't wise?
It took several months, actually. I was living in a small rented room at that time.
A room in someone's house?
Yes, a room in an older woman's house. She was kind and charged me very little rent.
That was fortunate.
It was, and I should have appreciated it more than I did.
What happened?
One day, she told me she needed to sell her house because her daughter was ill and she needed to move to another city.
So you would need to find a new place to live.
I would, and I started looking for other rooms to rent.
Were they easy to find?
They were easy to find, but they all cost much more than what I had been paying.
Because you had been paying very little.
Yes, I had been fortunate and I hadn't realized it.
What did you discover when you looked at your finances?
I discovered that I had almost no money saved at all.
Because you had been spending everything.
Everything, and sometimes even more than I earned.
How could you spend more than you earned?
I would borrow small amounts from friends, promising to pay them back with my next wages.
That sounds stressful.
It became very stressful, though I had been ignoring the stress for months.
What did you do?
I realized I would need to pay a deposit and first month's rent for any new room.
And you didn't have that money.
I didn't have even half of what I needed.
That must have been frightening.
It was frightening. I felt ashamed and worried.
Did you ask someone for help?
I went to speak with my uncle, who had always been kind to me.
What did your uncle say?
He asked me to sit down and explain my situation carefully.
So you told him everything.
I told him everything. I told him about my spending, about the borrowed money, about my lack of savings.
That must have been difficult to admit.
It was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had.
How did he respond?
He was quiet for a long time. He didn't speak. He just looked at me with a thoughtful expression.
Were you worried he was angry?
I was, but then he did something unexpected.
What did he do?
He asked me if I had learned anything from this situation.
What did you say?
I said I had learned that spending money feels good in the moment, but creates problems later.
That's more specific.
It was, and it was true. But my uncle pushed me to think even deeper.
What did he want you to understand?
He wanted me to understand the difference between appearing successful and actually building security.
Those are different things.
Very different. I had been trying to look successful with my new clothes and my nights out.
But you weren't building anything real.
I wasn't. I was building an image, not a foundation.
What did your uncle do to help you?
He made me an offer.
What kind of offer?
He said he would lend me the money I needed for the deposit and rent.
That was generous of him.
It was, but there were conditions.
What were the conditions?
First, I had to pay back all the small debts I owed to my friends before I paid him back.
Why was that important?
He said that those friendships were more valuable than money, and I should protect them.
That's wise.
It was very wise. And the second condition was more challenging.
What was the second condition?
I had to save a specific amount of money every month before I spent anything on entertainment or non-essential items.
You wanted you to learn to save first.
He wanted me to learn that security comes before pleasure.
Did you agree to his conditions?
I did. I had no choice, really, but I also knew he was right.
What happened next?
I moved into a new room which was smaller and plainer than my first room had been.
Because it was more expensive.
Yes, I got less for more money. That was part of the lesson.
How did you feel in those first months?
I felt restricted and frustrated at times.
Because you couldn't spend money the way you had been spending it.
Exactly. I couldn't go out with friends as often. I couldn't buy new things whenever I wanted them.
That must have been hard.
It was hard, but something interesting started to happen.
What happened?
After I paid back my friends and started saving each month, I began to feel different.
Different how?
I felt lighter, even though I had less money to spend.
Lighter because you didn't owe anyone?
Yes, the weight of debt, even small debts, is heavier than people realize.
And you felt proud of yourself for saving.
I did feel proud. Each month when I put money aside, I felt like I was building something.
What were you building?
I was building a foundation for my future. A small foundation, but a real one.
How long did it take to pay back your uncle?
It took about 6 months to pay him back completely.
That's not too long.
It felt long at the time, but looking back, it was quite quick.
What happened after you paid him back?
He invited me to his house for dinner to celebrate.
That was kind of him.
It was, and during that dinner, he told me something I've never forgotten.
What did he tell you?
He said that the money I had paid him back was not important.
It wasn't important?
No, he said what mattered was whether I had learned to change my relationship with money.
Had you changed it?
I had started to. I was still learning, but I had started.
How had it changed?
I had stopped seeing money as something to spend as quickly as possible.
What did you see it as instead?
I started seeing it as something to guide carefully, to direct towards things that mattered.
Like security and future comfort?
Yes, and also towards helping others and building something meaningful.
What happened with your saving after that?
I continued to save every month, even though I no longer had to.
It had become a habit.
More than a habit, it had become a value, something I believed in.
How did that change your life over time?
Slowly, gradually, over the next few years, I started to have choices I hadn't had before.
What kind of choices?
When an opportunity came to learn a new skill, I had money to pay for the training.
So you could invest in yourself.
Exactly. And when I met your grandmother and wanted to marry her, I had saved enough money to rent a small house for us.
You could start your life together with some security.
We could. It wasn't wealth, but it was enough. It was a foundation.
And that foundation grew over time.
It did, slowly and steadily over many years.
Because you kept making small, wise choices.
Because I learned that small, steady actions are more powerful than big, dramatic gestures.
Grandfather, thank you for telling me this story.
Thank you for listening so carefully.
It helps me understand that everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone does. The question is whether we learn from them.
And you learned.
Eventually, yes. Not as quickly as I wish I had, but eventually.
I hope I can learn faster than you did.
You will, because you're thinking about these things earlier in life.
Because you're teaching me.
Because you're willing to listen and think deeply.
They become very significant. And that's just saving, not even growing.
What happens if those coins grow?
Then the effect becomes even more powerful. but that's a topic we'll explore more in a moment.
I'm starting to see why you said some people seem comfortable even without earning a lot.
Yes, they understand that small, steady actions matter more than big, occasional actions.
It's like the tortoise and the hare from the old story.
That's a perfect comparison. Slow and steady truly does win the race.
But our society often tells us to want things now.
It does. That's one of the challenges of modern life.
How do we resist that pressure?
By remembering what truly makes us happy in the long term.
And what does make us happy in the long term?
Security, peace of mind, the ability to help the people we love.
Not the newest phone or the fanciest clothes.
Those things can bring momentary pleasure, but they don't bring lasting peace.
Peace seems more valuable.
Peace is priceless. You can't buy it in a store, but you can build it through your choices.
Through choosing to let my money grow instead of disappear.
Through choosing thoughtfully more often than choosing impulsively.
Grandfather, this conversation is changing how I see everything.
I'm glad. Seeing clearly is the beginning of choosing well.
Grandfather, I feel like so much has settled into my mind today.
That's good. Let things settle naturally.
Can we talk through the main ideas one more time, slowly?
Of course. That will help both of us clarify what matters most.
Where should we start?
Let's start with the simplest truth.
What is the simplest truth?
Money is a tool, not a goal.
A tool for what?
A tool for building the life you want to live.
Building security, comfort, the ability to help others?
Yes, all of those things.
So money itself isn't what matters.
Money itself is neutral. What matters is what you do with it.
Some people use it wisely, some people don't.
And most people, including myself when I was young, learn wisdom gradually through experience.
There's no shame in learning slowly.
No shame at all. The only shame is in refusing to learn.
What else should I remember?
Remember that money can work in different ways.
Some money disappears quickly after we spend it.
Yes, when we spend it on things that give brief pleasure but no lasting value.
And some money keeps working even after we've used it.
Like the seeds that keep producing vegetables year after year.
Or the good coat that lasts for many winters.
Exactly. Those are examples of money creating lasting value.
And then there's money that actually grows.
Yes, money that works even while we sleep.
Like investing in my cousin's bread business.
Like that, or like many other ways of helping money become more over time.
That's the most powerful kind of money use.
It's powerful because it multiplies your efforts. You work and your money also works.
Together, you can accomplish more than you could alone.
Much more, especially over long periods of time.
Time seems very important in everything we've talked about.
Time is perhaps the most important element.
Why is time so important?
Because small actions repeated over time become large results.
Like the one coin saved each day becoming thousands of coins over years.
Like that, and like the skills you build gradually becoming expertise.
Or the relationships you nurture slowly becoming deep friendships.
Yes, time transforms small efforts into significant outcomes.
But only if we're patient.
Only if we're patient and consistent.
What does consistent mean exactly?
It means doing something regularly, not perfectly, but regularly.
So I don't have to save money every single day without fail.
No, you just need to save regularly as a general practice.
That feels more manageable.
It is more manageable, and manageable practices are the ones we actually maintain.
What about the idea of balance we kept mentioning?
Balance is essential. You must live today and also prepare for tomorrow.
Not sacrifice all pleasure for future security.
No, that would make you miserable and is not sustainable.
But also not spend everything on today's pleasure and ignore tomorrow.
Exactly. Both extremes cause problems.
So I need to find my own balance.
Your own balance, which might be different from someone else's balance.
Because we all have different values and different circumstances.
Yes, there's no single right answer that works for everyone.
But there are principles that guide us.
There are principles like the ones we've been discussing.
Principles like thinking before spending.
Like asking yourself what kind of value a purchase will create.
Will it disappear quickly, last a long time, or grow over time?
Those are the 3 categories to consider.
And all 3 have their place in a balanced life.
All 3 do. We need some things that bring immediate joy, some things that last, and some things that grow.
It's not about being perfect with money.
It's about being thoughtful and intentional more often than not.
Making conscious choices instead of automatic ones.
Yes, consciousness is the key.
Your story showed me that even when we make mistakes, we can learn and change.
We can always learn and change at any age.
You changed your relationship with money after making mistakes.
I did, and that change affected the rest of my life.
It allowed you to marry my grandmother with some security.
It allowed many things over the years, small and large.
Because you started building a foundation.
A small foundation that grew slowly over time.
I want to build a foundation too.
You're already starting to build it by thinking about these things.
Just by being aware and thoughtful.
Awareness and thoughtfulness are where all good practices begin.
Then the actual actions follow naturally.
More naturally than if you tried to force actions without understanding.
Understanding comes first.
Understanding always comes first.
Grandfather, I feel peaceful thinking about all of this.
I'm glad you feel peaceful. These topics can make people anxious, but they don't have to.
Why don't they have to?
Because when you understand the principles, you realize you don't have to be perfect.
I just have to be steady and patient.
Steady and patient and kind to yourself when you make mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone, including me, including you, including everyone we know.
But we can learn from our mistakes.
We can if we pay attention to them instead of ignoring them.
I'll try to pay attention.
You already are. That's what this whole conversation has been about.
It has, hasn't it?
You've been paying close attention and asking thoughtful questions.
Because I want to understand.
And you do understand. I can tell by the questions you ask and the connections you make.
Thank you for having patience with all my questions.
Your questions are never a burden. They're a gift.
A gift?
Because they show me you trust me and value what I have to share.
I do value it, very much.
And I value your willingness to listen and learn.
We're learning together, you said earlier.
We are. Every conversation teaches me something too.
What does this conversation teach you?
It reminds me of how important these principles are and how simply they can be explained.
Sometimes we make things too complicated.
We often do, but the truth is usually quite simple.
Save some money regularly, let it grow over time, be patient and consistent.
That's the essence of it, yes.
It sounds so simple when you say it like that.
It is simple, but simple doesn't mean easy.
Why isn't it easy?
Because we have to resist the constant messages telling us to spend and consume.
Those messages are everywhere.
They are, but now you can recognize them for what they are.
They're invitations to spend money on things that disappear quickly.
Usually, yes. Not always, but usually.
And I can choose to decline those invitations.
You can choose consciously whatever you decide.
That's what freedom really is, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Freedom is being able to choose based on my values, not just on impulse or external pressure.
That's a profound understanding of freedom.
I learned it from you.
You've understood it deeply, which is more important than just hearing it.
I'm feeling sleepy now, Grandfather, but in a good way.
That's natural. We've been thinking deeply for a long time.
My mind feels full but peaceful.
That's the best kind of fullness.
Before I rest, can you remind me of the most important thing to remember?
The most important thing is that small, steady actions repeated over time create security and peace.
Small, steady actions.
Like water slowly shaping a stone.
Or seeds growing into a garden.
Exactly. Nature teaches us about patience and steady growth.
I'll remember that.
You will. And whenever you feel worried or uncertain, remember that you don't have to do everything at once.
Just one small action at a time.
One small conscious choice after another.
That feels manageable.
It is manageable, and manageable practices are the ones we actually maintain.
What about the idea of balance we kept mentioning?
Balance is essential. You must live today and also prepare for tomorrow.
Not sacrifice all pleasure for future security.
No, that would make you miserable and is not sustainable.
But also not spend everything on today's pleasure and ignore tomorrow.
Exactly. Both extremes cause problems.
So I need to find my own balance.
Your own balance, which might be different from someone else's balance.
Because we all have different values and different circumstances.
Yes, there's no single right answer that works for everyone.
But there are principles that guide us.
There are principles like the ones we've been discussing.
Principles like thinking before spending.
Like asking yourself what kind of value a purchase will create.
Will it disappear quickly, last a long time, or grow over time?
Those are the 3 categories to consider.
And all 3 have their place in a balanced life.
All 3 do. We need some things that they become very significant. And that's just saving, not even growing.
What happens if those coins grow?
Then the effect becomes even more powerful. But that's a topic we'll explore more in a moment.
I'm starting to see why you said some people seem comfortable even without earning a lot.
Yes, they understand that small, steady actions matter more than big, occasional actions.
It's like the tortoise and the hare from the old story.
That's a perfect comparison. Slow and steady truly does win the race.
But our society often tells us to want things now.
It does. That's one of the challenges of modern life.
How do we resist that pressure?
By remembering what truly makes us happy in the long term.
And what does make us happy in the long term?
Security, peace of mind, the ability to help the people we love.
Not the newest phone or the fanciest clothes.
Those things can bring momentary pleasure, but they don't bring lasting peace.
Peace seems more valuable.
Peace is priceless. You can't buy it in a store, but you can build it through your choices.
Through choosing to let my money grow instead of disappear.
Through choosing thoughtfully more often than choosing impulsively.
Grandfather, this conversation is changing how I see everything.
I'm glad. Seeing clearly is the beginning of choosing well.
Grandfather, I feel like so much has settled into my mind today.
That's good. Let things settle naturally.
Can we talk through the main ideas one more time, slowly?
Of course. That will help both of us clarify what matters most.
Where should we start?
Let's start with the simplest truth.
What is the simplest truth?
Money is a tool, not a goal.
A tool for what?
A tool for building the life you want to live.
Building security, comfort, the ability to help others?
Yes, all of those things.
So money itself isn't what matters.
Money itself is neutral. What matters is what you do with it.
Some people use it wisely, some people don't.
And most people, including myself when I was young, learn wisdom gradually through experience.
There's no shame in learning slowly.
No shame at all. The only shame is in refusing to learn.
What else should I remember?
Remember that money can work in different ways.
Some money disappears quickly after we spend it.
Yes, when we spend it on things that give brief pleasure but no lasting value.
And some money keeps working even after we've used it.
Like the seeds that keep producing vegetables year after year.
Or the good coat that lasts for many winters.
Exactly. Those are examples of money creating lasting value.
And then there's money that actually grows.
Yes, money that works even while we sleep.
Like investing in my cousin's bread business.
Like that, or like many other ways of helping money become more over time.
That's the most powerful kind of money use.
It's powerful because it multiplies your efforts. You work and your money also works.
Together, you can accomplish more than you could alone.
Much more, especially over long periods of time.
Time seems very important in everything we've talked about.
Time is perhaps the most important element.
Why is time so important?
Because small actions repeated over time become large results.
Like the one coin saved each day becoming thousands of coins over years.
Like that, and like the skills you build gradually becoming expertise.
Or the relationships you nurture slowly becoming deep friendships.
Yes, time transforms small efforts into significant outcomes.
But only if we're patient.
Only if we're patient and consistent.
What does consistent mean exactly?
It means doing something regularly, not perfectly, but regularly.
So I don't have to save money every single day without fail.
No, you just need to save regularly as a general practice.
That feels more manageable.
It is more manageable, and manageable practices are the ones we actually maintain.
What about the idea of balance we kept mentioning?
Balance is essential. You must live today and also prepare for tomorrow.
Not sacrifice all pleasure for future security,
No, that would make you miserable and is not sustainable.
but also not spend everything on today's pleasure and ignore tomorrow.
Exactly. Both extremes cause problems.
So I need to find my own balance.
Your own balance, which might be different from someone else's balance.
Because we all have different values and different circumstances.
Yes, there's no single right answer that works for everyone.
But there are principles that guide us.
There are principles like the ones we've been discussing,
Principles like thinking before spending.
like asking yourself what kind of value a purchase will create.
Will it disappear quickly, last a long time, or grow over time?
Those are the 3 categories to consider.
And all 3 have their place in a balanced life.
All 3 do. We need some things that bring immediate joy, some things that last, and some things that grow.
It's not about being perfect with money.
It's about being thoughtful and intentional more often than not.
Making conscious choices instead of automatic ones.
Yes, consciousness is the key.
Your story showed me that even when we make mistakes, we can learn and change.
We can always learn and change at any age.
You changed your relationship with money after making mistakes.
I did, and that change affected the rest of my life.
It allowed you to marry my grandmother with some security.
It allowed many things over the years, small and large.
Because you started building a foundation.
A small foundation that grew slowly over time.
I want to build a foundation too.
You're already starting to build it by thinking about these things.
Just by being aware and thoughtful.
Awareness and thoughtfulness are where all good practices begin.
Then the actual actions follow naturally.
More naturally than if you tried to force actions without understanding.
Understanding comes first.
Understanding always comes first.
Grandfather, I feel peaceful thinking about all of this.
I'm glad you feel peaceful. These topics can make people anxious, but they don't have to.
Why don't they have to?
Because when you understand the principles, you realize you don't have to be perfect.
I just have to be steady and patient.
Steady and patient and kind to yourself when you make mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone, including me, including you, including everyone we know.
But we can learn from our mistakes.
We can if we pay attention to them instead of ignoring them.
I'll try to pay attention.
You already are. That's what this whole conversation has been about.
It has, hasn't it?
You've been paying close attention and asking thoughtful questions.
Because I want to understand.
And you do understand. I can tell by the questions you ask and the connections you make.
Thank you for having patience with all my questions.
Your questions are never a burden. They're a gift.
A gift?
Because they show me you trust me and value what I have to share.
I do value it, very much.
And I value your willingness to listen and learn.
We're learning together, you said earlier.
We are. Every conversation teaches me something too.
What does this conversation teach you?
It reminds me of how important these principles are and how simply they can be explained.
Sometimes we make things too complicated.
We often do, but the truth is usually quite simple.
Save some money regularly, let it grow over time, be patient and consistent.
That's the essence of it, yes.
It sounds so simple when you say it like that.
It is simple, but simple doesn't mean easy.
Why isn't it easy?
Because we have to resist the constant messages telling us to spend and consume.
Those messages are everywhere.
They are, but now you can recognize them for what they are.
They're invitations to spend money on things that disappear quickly.
Usually, yes. Not always, but usually.
And I can choose to decline those invitations.
You can choose consciously whatever you decide.
That's what freedom really is, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Freedom is being able to choose based on my values, not just on impulse or external pressure.
That's a profound understanding of freedom.
I learned it from you.
You've understood it deeply, which is more important than just hearing it.
I'm feeling sleepy now, Grandfather, but in a good way.
That's natural. We've been thinking deeply for a long time.
My mind feels full but peaceful.
That's the best kind of fullness.
Before I rest, can you remind me of the most important thing to remember?
The most important thing is that small, steady actions repeated over time create security and peace.
Small, steady actions.
Like water slowly shaping a stone.
Or seeds growing into a garden.
Exactly. Nature teaches us about patience and steady growth.
I'll remember that.
You will. And whenever you feel worried or uncertain, remember that you don't have to do everything at once.
Just one small action at a time.
One small conscious choice after another.
That feels manageable.
It is manageable, and manageable practices are the ones we actually maintain.
What about the idea of balance we kept mentioning?
Balance is essential. You must live today and also prepare for tomorrow.
Not sacrifice all pleasure for future security.
No, that would make you miserable and is not sustainable.
But also not spend everything on today's pleasure and ignore tomorrow.
Exactly. Both extremes cause problems.
So I need to find my own balance.
Your own balance, which might be different from someone else's balance.
Because we all have different values and different circumstances.
Yes, there's no single right answer that works for everyone.
But there are principles that guide us.
There are principles like the ones we've been discussing.
Principles like thinking before spending.
Like asking yourself what kind of value a purchase will create.
Will it disappear quickly, last a long time, or grow over time?
Those are the 3 categories to consider.
And all 3 have their place in a balanced life.
All 3 do. We need some things that
We need some things that bring immediate joy, some things that last, and some things that grow.
It's not about being perfect with money.
It's about being thoughtful and intentional more often than not.
Making conscious choices instead of automatic ones.
Yes, consciousness is the key.
Your story showed me that even when we make mistakes, we can learn and change.
We can always learn and change at any age.
You changed your relationship with money after making mistakes.
I did, and that change affected the rest of my life.
It allowed you to marry my grandmother with some security.
It allowed many things over the years, small and large.
Because you started building a foundation.
A small foundation that grew slowly over time.
I want to build a foundation too.
You're already starting to build it by thinking about these things.
Just by being aware and thoughtful?
Awareness and thoughtfulness are where all good practices begin.
Then the actual actions follow naturally.
More naturally than if you tried to force actions without understanding.
Understanding comes first.
Understanding always comes first.
Grandfather, I feel peaceful thinking about all of this.
I'm glad you feel peaceful. These topics can make people anxious, but they don't have to.
Why don't they have to?
Because when you understand the principles, you realize you don't have to be perfect.
I just have to be steady and patient.
Steady and patient and kind to yourself when you make mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone, including me, including you, including everyone we know.
But we can learn from our mistakes.
We can if we pay attention to them instead of ignoring them.
I'll try to pay attention.
You already are. That's what this whole conversation has been about.
It has, hasn't it?
You've been paying close attention and asking thoughtful questions.
Because I want to understand.
And you do understand. I can tell by the questions you ask and the connections you make.
Thank you for having patience with all my questions.
Your questions are never a burden. They're a gift.
A gift?
These show me that you trust me and value what I have to share.
I do value it very much.
And I value your willingness to listen and learn.
We're learning together, you said earlier.
We are. Every conversation teaches me something too.
What does this conversation teach you?
It reminds me of how important these principles are and how simply they can be explained.
Sometimes we make things too complicated.
We often do, but the truth is usually quite simple.
Save some money regularly, let it grow over time, be patient and consistent.
That's the essence of it, yes.
It sounds so simple when you say it like that.
It is simple, but simple doesn't mean easy.
Why isn't it easy?
Because we have to resist the constant messages telling us to spend and consume.
Those messages are everywhere.
They are, but now you can recognize them for what they are.
They're invitations to spend money on things that disappear quickly.
Usually, yes. Not always, but usually.
And I can choose to decline those invitations.
You can choose consciously, whatever you decide.
That's what freedom really is, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Freedom is being able to choose based on my values, not just on impulse or external pressure.
That's a profound understanding of freedom.
You learned it from you.
You've understood it deeply, which is more important than just hearing it.
I'm feeling sleepy now, grandfather, but in a good way.
That's natural. We've been thinking deeply for a long time.
My mind feels full but peaceful.
That's the best kind of fullness.
Before I rest, can you remind me of the most important thing to remember?
The most important thing is that small, steady actions, repeated over time, create security and peace.
Small, steady actions?
Like water slowly shaping a stone.
Or seeds growing into a garden.
Exactly. Nature teaches us about patience and steady growth.
I'll remember that.
You will, and whenever you feel worried or uncertain, remember that you don't have to do everything at once.
Just one small action at a time.
One small conscious choice after another.
That feels manageable.
It is manageable, and over time those choices compound into something meaningful.
Compound, that means they add up to more than just their sum.
Yes, they multiply and grow beyond what you might expect.
Like your small savings growing into enough for a house.
Like that, and like many other examples from life.
Thank you, grandfather.
Thank you, dear Alison.
For teaching me these things.
For listening with such an open heart and thoughtful mind.
I'll think about all of this as I rest.
Let it settle gently. Don't force anything.
Just let it become part of me naturally.
Exactly, like nutrients absorbed slowly into the soil.
I love your metaphors about nature.
Nature shows us how things really work if we pay attention.
Slowly, steadily, patiently.
Always growing toward the light.
That's beautiful.
You're beautiful and your future is bright.
Because I'm learning to build a foundation.
Because you're learning to think clearly and choose wisely.
I'll keep learning.
I know you will.
Good night, grandfather.
Good night, my dear.
Sleep well.
You too. Dream of growing gardens and patient rivers.
I will.
Rest peacefully.
I'm resting.
Let today's lessons sink deep into your heart.
They're sinking.
Like roots growing down.
Strong and steady.
Yes, strong and steady.
Thank you.
Always.
Good night.
Good night.
Grandfather, I want to ask you about something that worries me.
Please, tell me, what's on your mind?
We talked before about saving money and letting it grow.
We did. That was a good conversation.
But there's something else I've been thinking about.
What have you been thinking about?
I've been thinking about borrowing money. About debt.
Ah, debt. That's an important topic to understand.
It makes me nervous even to talk about it.
Why does it make you nervous?
Because I've always heard that debt is dangerous.
Many people say that. They say debt is something to avoid at all costs.
Isn't that true? Shouldn't we avoid debt?
That's what we need to talk about carefully.
I'm listening.
Debt is like many things in life. It can be helpful or it can be harmful.
How can borrowing money ever be helpful?
That's a very good question. Let me think about how to explain this clearly.
Take your time. I really want to understand this.
Think about borrowing in general, not just borrowing money.
Borrowing in general?
Yes. Have you ever borrowed something from a friend?
Of course. I've borrowed books, tools, sometimes clothes.
When you borrow those things, did it harm you?
No, it helped me. I could use something I needed without having to buy it.
Exactly. Borrowing allowed you to have access to something useful.
But I always gave those things back.
You did. You returned what you borrowed. That's called responsibility.
Responsibility means taking care of your obligations.
Yes, it means honoring your promises and commitments.
So borrowing was fine because I was responsible about it.
That's part of it, but there's something else important.
What else matters?
What matters is why you borrowed and what you did with what you borrowed.
Can you give me an example?
Imagine you borrowed a hammer from your neighbor.
All right, I've borrowed a hammer.
If you use that hammer to build a shelf that holds your books, the borrowing helped you.
It helped me create something useful.
Yes, something that continues to serve you. But imagine instead you borrowed the hammer just to look at it.
Just to look at it? That would be strange.
It would be strange and pointless. The hammer would give you no real benefit.
So the purpose of borrowing matters.
The purpose matters very much. Borrowing should help you accomplish something worthwhile.
But we're talking about borrowing objects. What about borrowing money?
The same principle applies. Money is just another tool.
So borrowing money can be helpful if we use it for something worthwhile.
Exactly, if we use it wisely and responsibly.
But people talk about debt as if it's always a trap.
Some debt is a trap. Some debt is a burden that becomes heavier and heavier.
That sounds frightening.
It can be frightening, but not all debt works that way.
How can we tell the difference?
We need to understand what makes debt helpful or harmful.
I want to understand that.
Then let's explore it together, slowly and carefully.
Yes, please. Start from the beginning.
Let's imagine you want to learn a new skill.
What kind of skill?
Any skill that could help you earn more money in the future. Perhaps you want to learn photography.
Photography sounds interesting.
You want to learn it so you can work as a photographer someday.
That would be a good profession.
But to learn it properly, you need to take classes, and classes cost money.
More money than I have saved right now.
Exactly, so you have a choice. You could wait years until you save enough money.
That would take a long time.
It might, and during that time, you're not learning, not growing your skills.
So I'm losing time.
You're postponing your development, your advancement.
Advancement means moving forward in life.
Yes, making progress towards your goals.
So what's the other choice?
The other choice is to borrow money to pay for the classes now.
To take the classes now instead of waiting.
Yes, you start learning immediately. Within a year, you have the skills.
And then I can start working as a photographer.
You can start earning money from your new skill.
So the borrowed money helped me gain something valuable.
It helped you acquire knowledge and capability. Those are things that stay with you.
They become part of me.
Forever. No one can take them away.
So this kind of borrowing seems different from what I was worried about.
It is different. This is what we might call productive debt.
Productive means it produces something. It creates value.
Exactly. It helps you build something or grow something.
What would be the opposite of productive debt?
The opposite would be consumptive debt.
Consumptive means it uses things up. It consumes things.
Yes, debt that's used for things that disappear quickly or lose value quickly.
Can you give me an example of that kind of debt?
Imagine you borrow money to buy expensive clothes that you don't really need.
Just to look fashionable for a season?
Yes, after a few months, the fashion changes. The clothes lose their appeal.
But I still owe the money I borrowed.
You still owe it plus the cost of borrowing it.
The cost of borrowing? What does that mean?
When you borrow money, you usually have to pay extra for the privilege of borrowing.
Like a fee for using someone else's money.
Exactly. This extra amount is called interest.
Interest is the price we pay for borrowing.
Yes, it's how the lender benefits from lending to you.
So if I borrow money for clothes, I end up paying more than the clothes originally cost.
You do, and meanwhile, the clothes are becoming less valuable every day.
That sounds like a bad situation.
It is a bad situation. You're paying more and more for something that's worth less and less.
That's the opposite of growth.
It's the opposite of everything we talked about in our previous conversation.
So this is debt that works against me instead of for me.
Exactly. It's a burden instead of a tool.
A burden is something heavy that weighs you down.
Yes, something that makes life harder instead of easier.
I'm starting to see the distinction.
The distinction between helpful debt and harmful debt.
Between debt that builds and debt that simply costs.
That's a very clear way to express it.
But grandfather, how do we know for certain which kind of debt we're taking on?
That requires careful thought and honest examination of our motives.
Our motives are our reasons for doing something.
Yes, the true reasons behind our choices.
Sometimes we might fool ourselves about our motives.
That's very perceptive. We often do fool ourselves.
How can we avoid that?
We can ask ourselves clear, honest questions before we borrow.
What kind of questions?
Questions like, will this borrowing help me create something lasting?
That's a good question.
And will what I gain be worth what I'll pay to borrow?
So we're calculating the true cost.
We're considering not just the immediate benefit, but the total consequence.
Consequence means the result that follows from an action.
Yes, the outcome that comes after our decision.
What other question should we ask?
We should ask, am I borrowing because I need this or because I want it right now?
That's an important distinction.
Very important. Need and want are different things.
Needs are essential, wants are optional.
Generally, yes, though the boundary between them can sometimes be unclear.
Can you give me an example of something unclear?
A car might be a want in one situation and a need in another.
How so?
If you live in a city with good public transportation, a car might be just a want, a convenience.
But if I live far from my work and there's no bus?
Then a car might be a genuine need. You need it to earn your living.
So context matters, circumstances matter.
Context always matters. We can't apply rigid rules to every situation.
We have to think carefully about our particular circumstances.
And be honest with ourselves about whether we're borrowing for necessity or for desire.
This is more complex than I thought.
It is complex, but not impossibly so. With practice, this kind of thinking becomes natural.
Natural means it becomes easy and automatic.
Yes, something you do without great effort.
Grandfather, I have another question.
Please, ask.
Is there ever a time when we should never borrow money?
That's a thoughtful question. Let me consider that carefully.
I'm curious what you'll say.
I would say there are situations where borrowing is unwise, even dangerous.
What situations?
Borrowing for things that disappear quickly and create no lasting value.
Like the expensive clothes we mentioned?
Like those, or like borrowing for a vacation you can't afford.
But vacations can be important for rest and happiness.
They can be, but borrowing for a vacation means you're paying for past pleasure while living in the present.
That sounds backwards.
It is backwards. You're working now to pay for something that's already finished.
And meanwhile, the debt is costing me interest.
So the vacation ends up costing much more than if you had saved for it first.
It would be wiser to save for it and then enjoy it without debt.
Much wiser. The vacation would feel lighter, more free.
Because there's no obligation hanging over it.
No burden of repayment shadowing the joy.
This makes sense to me now.
Good. You're developing judgment about these matters.
Judgment means the ability to decide wisely.
Yes, the capacity to distinguish between good choices and poor choices.
Grandfather, can we talk more about the difference between helpful debt and heavy debt?
Of course. That's the heart of understanding debt properly.
You mentioned that some debt is like a tool and some is like a weight.
I did. Let me expand on that comparison.
Please do. Comparisons help me understand abstract ideas.
Abstract means not physical, not concrete. Ideas we can't touch.
Yes, like the concept of good debt versus bad debt.
Exactly. So let's make it more concrete with examples and metaphors.
A metaphor is when we describe something by comparing it to something else.
Yes, to help us see it more clearly.
I'm ready to listen.
Think of helpful debt as a ladder you borrow to reach something high.
A ladder to reach something I couldn't reach on my own.
Yes, maybe there's fruit growing high in a tree.
And I want that fruit for nourishment.
You need it, but you can't reach it by yourself.
So I borrow a ladder from someone else.
You borrow it, you climb up, you pick the fruit.
Then I return the ladder and thank the person who lent it to me.
Exactly. The borrowing served a clear purpose.
It helped me obtain something valuable that I needed.
And perhaps you give some of the fruit to the person who lent you the ladder.
As thanks for their help. That seems fair.
That's like paying interest. You're sharing the benefit you gained.
So, interest isn't just a cost, it's also a way of sharing success.
When debt is helpful, yes, the lender helped make something good possible.
So they deserve to benefit from that help.
That's a fair way to see it. Both people benefit from the arrangement.
This is like the win-win idea from our conversation about negotiation.
Exactly the same principle. Good debt creates mutual benefit.
What would heavy debt look like in this metaphor?
Heavy debt would be borrowing a ladder for no good reason,
Just borrowing it to own a ladder?
or borrowing it to impress your neighbors with how tall your ladder is.
That seems foolish.
It is foolish. You're not using it to reach anything valuable.
And I still have to pay for borrowing it.
You still owe the cost, but you gained nothing of real worth.
The debt becomes pure burden with no benefit.
A weight you carry for no reason.
Can you give me a more realistic example from actual life?
Of course, let's think about borrowing to buy a house.
Many people do that. Most people can't buy a house without borrowing.
That's true. Houses cost far more than most people have saved.
So they borrow from a bank.
They take what's called a mortgage, a large loan specifically for buying property,
And they pay it back slowly over many years.
usually over 20 or 30 years, sometimes longer.
That's a very long time to owe money.
It is, but during all those years, what are they doing?
They're living in the house.
They're living in it, making it their home, raising their families there.
So they're using what they borrowed for.
And more than that, the house usually becomes more valuable over time.
It appreciates. It grows in value.
Yes, appreciation is when something becomes worth more over the years.
So while they're paying off the debt, the house itself is becoming more valuable.
Often, yes. Not always, but often.
That sounds like helpful debt.
It generally is, if the person can afford the payments comfortably.
What does comfortably mean in this context?
It means the monthly payments don't consume too much of their income.
They can pay without struggling or sacrificing other necessities.
Exactly. They maintain balance in their financial life.
What would be an example of heavy debt in buying a house?
Borrowing more than you can reasonably afford to repay.
Buying a house that's too expensive for your income.
Yes, the payments become a constant source of stress and difficulty.
You're always worried about making the next payment.
You can't enjoy the house because the debt is crushing you.
Crushing means pressing down with great weight.
It means the pressure is almost unbearable.
That sounds terrible.
It is terrible. Some people lose their homes because they borrowed more than they could manage.
So, even borrowing for something useful can become harmful if we borrow too much.
That's an important insight. The amount matters as much as the purpose.
We need to be realistic about what we can handle.
Realistic and honest with ourselves about our actual capacity.
Capacity means our ability to do or manage something.
Yes, our actual limits and resources.
What about borrowing for education? We touched on that earlier.
Education is one of the most common reasons people borrow money.
And it seems like it should be helpful debt.
It often is, but not always automatically.
What determines whether it's helpful or not?
Several things. First, what kind of education and what it qualifies you to do.
Some education leads to good employment, some doesn't.
Yes, if you study to become a doctor or engineer, you'll likely earn enough to repay the debt.
Because those professions pay well.
They generally do, though the work is demanding.
What if someone borrows a lot of money to study something that doesn't lead to good employment?
Then they might struggle to repay the debt for many years.
even though they gained knowledge.
Knowledge has value, but if it doesn't help you earn a living, the debt becomes a heavy burden.
So, we need to think about the practical outcome of our education.
We need to consider both the value of learning and the economic reality.
Economic means related to money and earning a living.
Yes, the practical financial aspects of life.
This doesn't mean we should only study profitable subjects.
No, not at all, but we should be aware of the consequences of our choices.
If I want to study something that won't lead to high income, maybe I should borrow less money.
That would be wise. Perhaps attend a less expensive school or work while studying.
So I finish with less debt to repay.
Exactly. You're matching the amount of debt to your realistic future income.
That's being responsible and realistic.
It's thinking ahead about consequences instead of just following desire.
Grandfather, what about borrowing to start a business?
Ah, that's an interesting category of debt.
Is it helpful or heavy?
It can be either, depending on many factors.
What factors?
Whether the business has a real chance of succeeding, whether you understand the market and the customers.
The market means the people who might buy what you're selling.
Yes, and the conditions that affect whether they'll buy.
So, borrowing for a well-planned business could be very helpful.
It could be. The business might grow and provide income for years.
But borrowing for a poorly planned business could be disastrous.
Disastrous means causing great harm or ruin.
Very bad consequences.
Yes, the business fails and you still owe all the money you borrowed.
With nothing to show for it.
Nothing except the painful lesson of experience.
That's a very expensive lesson.
It can be, though some people learn from such failures and eventually succeed.
So, even painful consequences can lead to growth.
They can, if we're willing to learn from them.
But it would be better to learn without such painful costs.
Much better. That's why careful planning and honest assessment are so important.
Assessment means examining something carefully.
Yes, examining it thoroughly to understand its true nature.
I'm noticing a pattern in everything you're saying.
What pattern do you notice?
The pattern is that borrowing is acceptable when it helps us build or create something lasting.
Yes, that's the core principle.
And borrowing is problematic when it's just for temporary pleasure or consumption.
Problematic means causing problems or difficulties.
Yes, creating trouble for our future selves.
That's exactly right. Bad debt is being unfair to your future self.
Unfair because future me has to pay for past me's pleasure.
A future you receives no benefit, only burden.
While good debt means future me benefits from past me's wise choice.
Future you is grateful to past you for the opportunity created.
That's a lovely way to think about it.
It helps us remember that our choices today affect our tomorrow.
Every decision about borrowing is a decision about our future.
About our future freedom and our future burdens.
I want to make choices that create future freedom.
That's a worthy goal. Let me tell you a story about that.
I love your stories, Grandfather.
This one is about a time when I had to decide whether to borrow money.
This happened when I was in my late 20s, after the experiences I told you about before.
After you learned to save money and built a foundation.
Yes, I had learned those lessons and had been practicing them for several years.
You had some savings by then.
I did. Not a fortune, but a modest amount that I had accumulated slowly.
Accumulated means gathered over time.
Yes, built up gradually through consistent effort.
What happened?
I was still working in the furniture workshop, and I had become quite skilled at my craft.
You were good at making furniture.
I had developed considerable expertise. People knew my work and trusted my skill.
Expertise means deep knowledge and ability in something.
Yes, mastery gained through years of practice.
So what was the opportunity that arose?
The owner of the workshop was getting old, and he wanted to retire.
To stop working and rest in his later years.
Exactly. He had worked for 40 years, and he was tired.
That's understandable after so long.
It is, and he made me an offer that would change my life.
What did he offer?
He offered to sell me the workshop.
The whole business? To you?
Yes, the building, the tools, the customers, everything.
That must have been exciting and frightening at the same time.
It was both. I felt thrilled by the possibility and terrified by the responsibility.
Terrified means very afraid.
Yes, deeply frightened by the magnitude of the decision.
How much did he want for the workshop?
He wanted a fair price, but it was far more money than I had saved.
Even after years of saving, you didn't have enough.
I had perhaps 1/4 of what I needed.
So you would have to borrow the rest?
I would have to borrow a substantial amount.
Substantial means large and significant.
Yes, a serious amount of money that would take years to repay.
What did you do?
First, I did nothing. I sat with the question for several days.
You didn't rush into a decision.
I couldn't rush such an important choice. I needed time to think clearly.
What did you think about during those days?
I thought about all the aspects of the decision, both the opportunities and the risks.
What opportunities did you see?
I saw the opportunity to own something instead of just working for someone else.
To be your own master.
To have autonomy and control over my work and my future.
Autonomy means independence and self-direction.
Yes, the freedom to make my own decisions.
What else did you see as an opportunity?
I saw that the workshop had loyal customers who valued quality work.
So there was existing business, not starting from nothing.
Exactly. The foundation was already there. I would be continuing something established.
That reduces the risk.
It does. A new business is much riskier than an existing one with proven customers.
What risks did you see?
I saw the risk that I might not be as good at managing the business as I was at making furniture.
Those are different skills.
Very different. Being skilled with your hands doesn't automatically mean you're skilled with numbers and planning.
You would need to develop new abilities.
I would need to learn things I had never done before.
What other risks worried you?
I worried that if the business failed, I would lose everything.
Not just the borrowed money, but your savings too.
Everything I had worked for years to build.
That's a frightening prospect.
It was. I could envision myself back where I started, with nothing but debt.
Envision means to imagine or picture something.
Yes, to see it in your mind as a possibility.
How did you decide what to do?
I talked to people I trusted. I asked for advice and perspective.
Perspective means a way of seeing and understanding something.
Yes, a viewpoint that might reveal aspects I hadn't considered.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to your grandmother, who was my fiancée at that time.
What did she say?
She asked me a question that clarified everything.
What was her question?
She asked me, if you don't do this, will you regret it for the rest of your life?
That's a powerful question.
It cut through all my confusion and fear.
What was your answer?
I realized immediately that yes, I would regret not trying.
Even though it was risky?
The risk of regret seemed worse than the risk of failure.
Because you would always wonder what might have been.
Exactly. I would wonder what I could have built if I had been brave enough to try.
So you decided to borrow the money and buy the workshop.
I did, but not immediately. First, I made careful plans.
What kind of plans?
I calculated exactly how much money I would need to borrow and how I would repay it.
You wanted to understand the full scope of the commitment.
Commitment means a promise or obligation you take on.
Yes, something you bind yourself to do.
I needed to know that I could realistically meet this obligation.
How did you calculate that?
I looked at the workshop's income from the past several years.
To see how much money it typically earned.
Yes, to understand its financial patterns and consistency.
And what did you discover?
I discovered that the income was steady and reliable, not spectacular, but dependable.
Dependable means you can count on it, it's reliable.
Yes, it wouldn't make me rich quickly, but it would sustain me and my family.
Sustain means to support and maintain over time.
To provide what was necessary for a decent life.
So the numbers suggested it was feasible.
Feasible means possible and achievable.
Yes, realistic to accomplish.
The numbers suggested that if I was careful and worked hard, I could succeed.
What did you do next?
I went to the bank to discuss borrowing the money.
That must have been intimidating.
Intimidating means causing fear or nervousness.
Yes, making you feel small or uncertain.
It was very intimidating. I had never asked for such a large loan before.
How did the bank respond?
They asked me many questions about the business and my plans.
They wanted to assess the risk of lending to you.
Exactly. They needed to determine whether I would likely be able to repay the loan.
What convinced them?
Several things convinced them. The business had a good history. I had saved money, which showed discipline.
Your past behavior demonstrated your responsibility.
Yes, and I had a realistic plan with conservative projections.
Conservative means careful and cautious, not overly optimistic.
Yes, I didn't exaggerate or imagine unrealistic success.
So they agreed to lend you the money?
They did, after much consideration.
How did you feel when you received their approval?
I felt a mixture of elation and terror.
Elation means intense joy and excitement.
Yes, great happiness mixed with great fear.
Because now the decision was real.
It was no longer theoretical. It was actually happening.
What happened next?
I bought the workshop and became its owner.
That must have been a momentous day.
A momentous means very important and significant.
A day that changed everything.
It was. I remember standing in the workshop that first morning as the owner.
How did it feel?
It felt overwhelming. Every piece of wood, every tool, every responsibility was now mine.
Overwhelming means too much to handle easily.
Yes, almost more than I felt capable of managing.
But you managed it.
I did, but not easily and not without difficulty.
What difficulties did you face?
The first difficulty was the weight of the debt itself.
The knowledge that you owed so much money.
Every month I had to make a payment to the bank. This was not optional.
It was an obligation that demanded attention.
It demanded priority over almost everything else.
How did you ensure you could make the payments?
I worked longer hours than I ever had before.
You devoted yourself completely to the business.
I devoted myself to making it successful, to honoring my obligation.
Did you ever regret taking on the debt?
There were moments, especially in the first year, when I felt crushed by the pressure.
Moments when it seemed too heavy to bear.
Yes, when I wondered if I had made a terrible mistake.
What kept you going during those moments?
Several things. The support of your grandmother, the pride in owning something, the determination not to fail.
Determination means firm resolve and commitment to succeed.
Yes, refusing to give up despite difficulty.
When did things start to improve?
Gradually, over the first 2 years, the business stabilized.
Stabilized means became steady and secure.
Yes, found its balance and rhythm.
The debt became more manageable.
It became part of the routine rather than a constant crisis.
Because you were meeting your obligations consistently.
And because the business was generating sufficient income to cover everything.
Sufficient means enough, adequate for the purpose.
Yes, meeting the necessary requirements.
How long did it take to repay the entire debt?
It took 12 years to repay it completely.
That's a long time.
It is a long time, but during those 12 years, many good things happened.
What good things?
I developed new skills in managing people and finances.
The business taught you abilities you wouldn't have learned otherwise.
It forced me to grow in ways that working for someone else never would have.
What else happened during those years?
The business grew slowly. I hired more workers. We served more customers.
So it was successful beyond just surviving.
It was modestly successful, which was more than enough.
And how did you feel when you made the final payment?
I felt liberated. That's the only word that captures it.
Liberated means freed from something that confined you.
Yes, released from a burden I had carried for so long.
But it was a burden you chose willingly.
It was, and that choice made all the difference.
Because you chose it for a purpose, not by accident.
Grandfather, I feel like I understand so much more now.
I'm glad. Understanding comes gradually through examples and reflection.
Reflection means thinking deeply about something.
Yes, contemplating it from different angles until it becomes clear.
Can we talk through the main principles one more time?
Of course, repetition helps understanding settle into wisdom.
Where should we begin?
Let's begin with the most fundamental insight.
What is the most fundamental insight?
Debt is neither inherently good nor inherently bad.
Inherently means as part of its basic nature.
Yes, by its very essence or character.
So, debt itself is neutral, like money itself.
Exactly like money. It's a tool whose value depends on how we use it.
The purpose determines whether it helps us or harms us.
The purpose and also our capacity to manage the obligation responsibly.
Both factors matter equally?
They both matter tremendously. A good purpose with poor management still leads to problems.
And borrowing for foolish purposes is harmful regardless of our ability to repay.
Though the ability to repay at least prevents financial catastrophe.
Catastrophe means disaster or terrible outcome.
Yes, complete failure with severe consequences.
What else should I remember about good debt versus bad debt?
Remember that good debt creates something that lasts or grows.
It's an investment in something with enduring value.
Enduring means lasting over time, not temporary.
Like education, like a home, like a business that serves real needs.
All of those are examples of potentially good debt.
Potentially because they still require wise management.
Exactly. Even good purposes can become burdensome if we borrow beyond our means.
Our means are our resources and ability to repay.
Yes, our realistic financial capacity.
And bad debt is borrowing for things that disappear or lose value quickly.
Things that provide momentary pleasure but no lasting benefit.
Like expensive clothes, vacations we can't afford, things we don't truly need.
All of those represent consumptive rather than productive use of borrowed resources.
Consumptive uses things up without creating anything new.
While productive creates value that continues beyond the initial use.
This distinction seems crucial to understand.
Crucial means extremely important and essential.
Yes, central to making wise decisions.
It is the cornerstone of financial wisdom regarding debt.
Cornerstone means the most important foundational element.
Yes, what everything else builds upon.
Grandfather, how do I develop the judgment to know when borrowing is appropriate?
You develop it through practice, observation, and honest self-examination.
Self-examination means looking honestly at ourselves.
Yes, assessing our true motives and capacities without self-deception.
Self-deception means lying to ourselves or avoiding uncomfortable truths.
Exactly. We're often tempted to justify what we want by distorting reality.
Distorting means twisting or misrepresenting something.
Yes, making it appear different from what it truly is.
So I need to be very honest with myself about why I want to borrow.
Ruthlessly honest, even when that honesty is uncomfortable.
Ruthlessly means without mercy or exception.
Yes, completely and thoroughly honest.
What questions should I ask myself before borrowing?
Ask yourself, what will this borrowed money create or enable?
Will it create lasting value or temporary pleasure?
Ask yourself, can I realistically repay this without sacrificing necessities?
Without making my life unmanageably difficult.
Unmanageably means beyond what you can reasonably handle.
What other questions matter?
Ask yourself, am I borrowing out of genuine need or impatient desire?
Impatient means unwilling to wait, wanting immediate satisfaction.
Yes, unable or unwilling to delay gratification.
Gratification means satisfaction or pleasure.
Yes, the fulfillment of a want or desire.
And ask myself,
What would happen if I waited and saved instead of borrowing?
That's an excellent question. Sometimes waiting is the wiser path.
Even though it requires patience and discipline.
Discipline means the ability to control yourself and follow through on commitments.
Yes, self-control and consistency.
These qualities serve us throughout life, not just with money.
They're fundamental to maturity and wisdom.
Maturity means fully developed judgment and responsibility.
Growing beyond childish impulses into thoughtful choice.
Exactly. That's what we've been discussing all along.
The movement from impulse to intention.
From reaction to deliberate decision.
Deliberate means careful and thoughtful, not hasty.
Yes, considered thoroughly before acting.
Grandfather, I feel peaceful about this topic now.
Peace comes from understanding, not from having all the answers.
Understanding the principles gives me confidence to make decisions.
Confidence means trust in your own judgment and ability.
Not arrogance, but healthy self-trust.
Arrogance means excessive pride and disregard for reality.
I don't want to be arrogant about my financial decisions.
No one should be. Humility serves us better than arrogance.
Humility means recognizing our limitations and remaining teachable.
Yes, staying open to learning and correction.
I want to stay humble and keep learning.
That attitude will serve you well throughout your life.
What final thought would you like me to remember about debt?
Remember that debt is a form of obligation to your future self.
I'm making a promise to future me.
A promise that future you will have to keep for better or for worse.
So I should borrow with respect for future me.
With great respect and consideration for the burden you're placing on that future self.
But also with trust that future me can handle what present me chooses wisely.
That's a mature and balanced perspective.
Thank you for teaching me these things.
Thank you for receiving them with such thoughtfulness.
I feel ready to face financial decisions more wisely.
You are ready, and you'll continue learning from experience.
Experience is the best teacher, you've said before.
It is, though learning from others' experience is wiser than only learning from your own mistakes.
That's why stories matter so much.
Stories allow us to learn without suffering every consequence personally.
Your story about the workshop taught me so much.
I'm glad it illuminated these principles for you.
Illuminated means made clear or brought light to something.
Yes, helped you see something that was previously unclear.
Everything feels much clearer now.
Clarity grows gradually through patient exploration.
We've been patient today, taking time to understand deeply.
Deep understanding cannot be rushed.
It requires calm attention and willingness to sit with ideas.
And willingness to ask questions and seek examples.
I'm grateful for your patience with all my questions.
Your questions show intelligence and genuine desire to understand.
I do want to understand, not just memorize rules.
Understanding is far more valuable than memorization.
Because understanding adapts to new situations.
While memorized rules may not apply when circumstances change.
Life is too complex for simple rules.
It requires principles combined with judgment.
Judgment developed through thought and experience.
Exactly so.
Grandfather, I feel sleepy now, Grandfather, but peacefully so.
That's good. Your mind has worked hard today.
My mind feels full but organized.
Organized means arranged in a clear, logical way.
Yes, everything has its place and makes sense together.
That's the feeling of genuine understanding.
I'll rest now and let these ideas settle more deeply.
Let them settle like sediment finding its natural place.
Sediment means particles that settle at the bottom over time.
Yes, finding their proper position through natural process.
My thoughts will find their proper positions as I rest.
They will. Sleep helps integrate what we've learned.
Integrate means to combine into a unified whole.
Yes, to make separate pieces into a coherent understanding.
Coherent means logically connected and consistent.
Exactly. All the pieces fitting together sensibly.
Good night, Grandfather.
Good night, dear Alison.
Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you for your receptivity.
Receptivity means being open to receiving ideas and learning.
Yes, having a mind and heart open to new understanding.
My mind and heart are open to your teachings.
And that openness is the greatest gift you could give me.
Sleep well.
You too, my dear.
I'll dream of bridges and ladders.
Bridges to better futures and ladders to reach higher possibilities.
Yes, tools that help us grow.
Rest peacefully.
I will.
Tomorrow brings new opportunities to practice wisdom.
I look forward to practicing.
Good night.
Good night.
Because you chose it for a purpose, not by accident.
I chose it to build something, to create opportunity for myself and others.
Did you consider it good debt or bad debt?
Looking back, it was definitely good debt.
Why definitely?
Because it allowed me to create something that lasted far beyond the debt itself.
The workshop continued for many more years.
For decades, it supported our family, employed many people, created value in the community.
So the borrowed money multiplied itself many times over.
In financial terms, yes, but also in other terms that matter just as much.
What other terms?
In terms of dignity, purpose, contribution to others' lives.
Those things have value, even though they're not measured in money.
They have immense value. They're what makes work meaningful.
Grandfather, thank you for sharing this story.
Thank you for listening with such attention.
It helps me understand that debt can be a bridge to something better.
That's a beautiful way to express it. A bridge, not a trap.
A bridge when used wisely for the right purposes.
Exactly. Purpose is what determines whether debt helps or harms.